Oh, hey there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to The Broken Pact, the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica show here on twitch.tv/D&D. And this week, twitch.tv/Magic is also hosting it this week. We are part of the serendipitous Ravnica block here, thanks to our friends over at By Law and Order, Loading Ready Run, and Dungeon Master Kathleen. Hope you guys had fun watching the sausage being made, quite literally. Big fan of that show. And the other Ravnica show on the network, of course, is Jace Beleren Must Die, which is Wednesday mornings from Roll20 Presents. I am Ruben Bressler, better known as the Internet's Mox Ruby, and these fine citizens are my players. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
I am Riley Silverman, and I am playing Velma Sweet. She is the half-elf bard who is a member of the Orzhov Guild, but not really. She's actually a member of the Dimir Guild.
Hi, I am a special guest here tonight. My name is Poisel, and I am going to be playing. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing Trivaz, a Vedalken Izzet inventor and liaison of the Guildpact.
Hi, I'm Garav, and I'm playing Astorok. I'm a big minotaur, and I'm so dumb, blah, blah, blah.
Roll deception.
That's for Jordan.
Wait, I thought Jordan wasn't going to be here.
Right.
Oh, it's Garab! I totally thought that was Jordan.
I know,
It was
right?
such a good impression.
Mask of Many Faces.
Actually, I play Lucian Ladrian, who is from the Azori Senate. He is an investigator and wrapped up in a lot of things that he doesn't know a lot of things about, but he gets by.
Learning as he goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashlyn, and I am playing a Selesnian cleric that is a Luxodon named...
Wait, hold on. Do you know how to do this thing? Okay, ready? Go ahead, sorry.
They said they watched the show.
Right, that's true.
Selesnian cleric Luxodon named Tutturu.
Tutturu!
And yeah, she is discovering the world as she goes. She's kind of like a fresh initiate who's kind of excited about life and getting to meet all the other guilds and really being surprised by how everything isn't all butterflies and rainbows.
Of course. Well, we're going to get started right quick here. A couple quick things. Please use the hashtag #TheBrokenPact to talk about us on all of the social media platforms. Also join our Discord. You can follow @SavingThrowShow on both Twitch and Twitter. Do like, tweet, favorite, share, do everything social that tells people we exist. We would like to thank the folks at UltraPro and Cardamajigs for the varied supplies that they've provided us. Thanks to Zach Haiti for the intro music, and of course my fellow writing compatriots A.E. Emmett and John for all their help. Next week we're going to have another guest. One Miss Vanna Mahoney, Havana Rama on the tweets, notable streamer, role player, Fractured, the Overlight game on Geek and Sundry, for example. Tons of games here. I think she was running the Pugmire game for a while here, which was fantastic.
She's an
absolute delight. And I'm really excited to have her here next week. That was quite.
I don't know her.
Well,
Okay.
you will next week. Or
I was laughing because everyone had like a very nice thing to say about her.
Sure.
So that was that joke. I was like, I'm not aware, but it seems great.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say,
Sorry, I was
that-
teasing.
no,
Sorry.
you're fine. Far be it from me to stop the improv from happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, without any further ado, let's dive into the world of Ravnica, the Broken Pact. Episode 12, Price of Fame. A murder led to an investigation, An investigation led to a copycat. A copycat led to a showdown. And after the foursome of Astorok, Velma, Lucian, and Tutturu tracked down the serial killer Dr. Bavlik and brought him to justice, the showdown led to victory and fame and benefits. After a week's reprieve, the party, known in the papers as the Mended Pact, reconvened at the Generous Stray, the nightclub owned by Miss Velma Sweet, on the south part of the Trans-Guild Promenade, the well-lit and fanciful thoroughfare that divides the 1st and 2nd precincts of the 10th district of Ravnica, the City of Guilds, a vast, sprawling city that covers the whole of the known world. The reunion at karaoke night was interrupted by a visit from Ravnica's most influential mage, Jace Beleren. The man, groggers. Yeah. Jace Beleren, the man in whom the ancient magic. That's a different show.
Oh, sorry.
Theoretically, you guys like Jace, but we'll see. You're at least hired. He's at least your boss.
He's a enemy.
No one likes their boss for them.
It's true.
like
He's
a
like
boss.
your Michael Scott equivalent.
He's
right
like
now.
this strange,
pretty cool.
He's like a strange dad who like went out once for Zendikar cigarettes and never came back.
It's true. The man in whom the ancient magic of the Guildpact resides, the magic that binds the 10 guilds together and prevents any large-scale violence between them. Jace offered them the opportunity to don the title Guardians of the Guildpact, which also granted them a boost in rank and renown in exchange for their services, which they've accepted. And now the group finds themselves more powerful and more well-connected than ever before. But with power comes new problems. With fame comes attention. And with connections come new enemies. Jace Beleren, the Living Guildpact, gave you 5 missions, guild-related, to look into the guild leaders of 5 of Ravnica's 10 guilds, the powerful entities that run Ravnica. But before you go off on your first mission, Astorok, the Minotaur fighter, shout out to Jordan, hope you're having a good time, was called away for military training to officially be able to take on his new title of Wojek of the Boros Legion. And so the Chamber of the Guildpact has seen fit to allow you a brief time to handle other outstanding business. We begin at home, specifically your home in the Generous Stray. Still up and awake in the repurposed basement of the Generous Stray. What do you think, it's sort of empty now, what's a time of day or night that would be quite empty?
I think it would be probably like mid to late morning would be a time, because like I think that like early morning people are still kind of staggering out from the night before, and then I think that no one really starts coming in until like mid to late afternoon or like evening time for dinner.
Okay.
They're always open, but they're not, I think people aren't always necessarily coming in for lunch and stuff like that.
Sure.
And
So
right now, it hasn't been as busy during collection hours because people still think of Velma as associated with the cops right now, so they're not coming to her to be their like liaison for debts they owe her and stuff like that.
So you're mostly being left alone,
Yeah,
particularly at this time of day.
Yeah.
So you're down in your makeshift basement
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, it's not quite as chaotic looking as when Astorok was down here last time.
Sure.
She has definitely straightened up a little bit. It still definitely has that Pepe Sylvia type, like there's lots of things happening
Lots
on the
of
walls, but
lots
it's a
of
little
pictures
more-
of people, or daguerreotypes of people, I suppose. And
Yeah.
maps of places and article clippings and other cryptic hints.
Yeah, lots of notes written in random other languages and in a series of seemingly like self-concocted runes or symbols or things
And
that
all
don't
of the
make
connecting
sense.
points lead to a name, Selias,
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yes.
I wanted to start with you because I have a question. When did you sleep last?
Oh gosh. I think that Velma is someone who makes herself sleep because she needs the energy. She knows she needs the energy to function.
Okay.
But I would say that she hasn't been sleeping well. So I would say that she probably slept. If it's mid morning, she probably got maybe like 3 or 4 hours of sleep.
What do you usually get?
I think she normally gets.
Now you're a half elf, so
Yeah.
you don't need to sleep as much.
Yeah, I don't get the whole like 4 hours of meditation like a full elf would,
Right.
but I don't think that she's like needs as much of it. But yeah, I think she's probably running like how we would if we were maybe on like a half night's quality sleep right now.
Okay, I'm gonna say super low DC of 8.
Okay.
to see if you suffer exhaustion.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is going to be Constitution.
Yeah. Okay, so my
And this will be a check, not a saving throw.
Okay. Well, it's the same for me anyway. All right, so I got a 12 on that.
Okay, so you are not going to suffer any ill effects from not having a long night's sleep. You've had your coffee.
Okay.
You've had you've had your equivalent of a long rest. So no ill effects based on that.
Cool.
But you are still, honed in, focused on these clues connected by bits of twine. And you reach over for your coffee cup, and it's empty. It's been empty the last 5 or 6 times you've reached over for it.
Okay.
But this time you reach over, and your cat is there.
Oh.
And so, your new cat,
Yeah,
Arthur.
Arthur.
Describe Arthur for me, by the way.
She is a
Right,
black...
Arthur is a she.
Yeah, she's a black stray cat. She is, I don't know what breed she would be because she's kind of like a street cat. It's basically when Velma was really kind of hiding out from the world, she happened to I think she was darting down a random alleyway to try to avoid looky-loos when she was coming back from when she was getting coffee. She basically went the long way around the back alley, back around the stray instead of the street where everyone would know her to come down. And she ran into this cat.
Very
And-
serendipitous situation.
Kind of crossed it.
Just a cat off the street.
Yeah, and it kind of kept following her, and she'd given it a little bit of food, and then if anyone who's ever fed a stray cat knows that now that's her cat. So
Sure.
yeah, and I don't know, she I think she took it as a good omen because her place is the generous stray, and I think it just kind of felt right to her, and yeah, so while she's been down working on stuff, she has this cat.
So you're just sitting in the basement. It's you and Arthur. And you're looking at the clues. While we're here, is there anything that you have any questions about what is in front of you, since you have time for yourself here?
Is there anything new investigation-wise that she has picked up or that she has been given by the Demir? Because I know when she got that message from the Demir, it said crimes committed. So that kind of implied to her that there was new evidence or there was something that had been brought to light, and she'd asked them to give her some information at some point anyway. So has that come in yet? Has she learned anything, or has she in her own investigations uncovered anything?
So I would say roll investigation.
Okay.
To see, this would be your own investigations.
Okay. That's only a 13,
Okay.
unfortunately.
And then I'm going to also have you roll history.
Okay.
Do not add your proficiency bonus if you're proficient, because this is information coming from outside.
Okay. I'm not proficient, so that's only a 5.
Okay, so nothing has come in from the Demir.
Okay.
Specifically, you've done a little bit more digging. Something that you did pick up on when you all were looking over your items last time was the IIRC request that came in that Lucian submitted. You knew that as a result of that you could perhaps investigate who had been asking questions about various characters. You submitted that request to see who had been asking about Selias.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah. And I think she put in one for herself too because she wants to know if Selias has been followed. She doesn't know if Selias saw her when she was at this generous stray.
Yeah.
And so she's assuming that the IRC request wouldn't come from Selias, but she has a pretty wide range of knowledge about what his side projects and stuff are. So she's looking for anything that might be connected to him directly.
Okay. It does take a while for those kind of requests to get processed, the Azorius bureaucracy, of course, being what it is.
Perfect, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. You need to check, cross all your T's and dot all your lowercase j's. So
Or else.
You can you get some of that information back. It does not look like there were any. It does not look like there have been any information requests of Selias from the Azorius.
Okay.
There have been many requests on Velma Suite and the rest of the Mended Pact. Among them are a couple of offices within the Orzhov Syndicate.
Yeah.
Specifically that of what's listed as the Guild, the Ghost Council, which as you know is the Guild leaders.
Yeah. So I think in her mind, she assumes that a lot of the inquiries on her have been because of her newfound fame, and I think she also feels like that would have been the perfect time for Selias's subsidiaries to look into her as well.
And you do notice that there is a request for information from one Ulrich of the Dead Reveler.
Interesting.
Which, as you know, is the public face,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently how the Azorius know him.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the information that you get. So you're staring at this information and putting it all together. And it's been a while since you slept, and you're sitting there and looking at this information, and you're like kind of half awake, half asleep. And then you hear a voice from nowhere in particular say, "Looks like you could use a friend, Miss Sweet."
Okay, I'm not a fan of this. That's what she says, and she stays quiet.
Yep, that's it. That's all that happens. You sort of blink, and it must be the insomnia.
Okay, yeah,
So-
she kind of swats it away, but she does make a note to check her wards and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's it. The next morning, you all meet. Where do you all meet? You meet here. You meet at the plaza. You meet at the Guildpact.
Probably a Velma.
Probably at Velma's until we figure out our permanent base of operations.
Yeah, well, you probably come to me because I'm the one who kept all the files and stuff.
Also that.
So,
You're right.
and I told Ruben this already, but anything that I would have been left with, I definitely would have copied at some point. But copied it into like Velma's weird system of
You
taking
own a
notes.
Xerox machine?
No, she
Magical.
owns hands and she owns hands and pens. And yeah, and I assume that typewriters probably exist in Ravnica, right?
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, if
I think
there's-
that
if there's
makes
a-
sense.
If there's a thriving
If there's a
publishing industry,
subway, yeah, I would say that
I'm
you.
sure the Izzet made typewriters, but they also use some sort of combustion method.
Yeah.
Like, totally
Yeah,
unnecessary.
just
Okay.
internal
Steam
combustion typewriters.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, maybe a typewriter of some sort. But yeah, I think, or she also maybe she has cast her unseen servant and finally has a job to do, which is to copy
No.
notes that she has.
Right. That makes sense. There you go. So it's just sort of a floating pen that's transcribing information. And so that's what you see when you come to the Generous Stray in the morning.
What is my purpose?
Now, you don't see the thing.
You make
No,
copies.
she hasn't,
Oh, yeah,
she hasn't
yeah.
told them that she made
Sure,
copies.
sure.
She did it on
Fair,
herself.
fair.
But yeah.
Okay. I imagine we walk in maybe at 11 a.m. or something.
Mhm.
Or I guess I do. I'm not going to speak for everybody. And I'll just wait at a table until you're ready to meet. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't want to. You're running a business. I don't want to interrupt
Right.
with that.
Do we have plans to meet at this time? Would you think?
I would assume so.
Okay.
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
You all have an appointment at the Guildpact.
Okay.
Let's say at noonish.
Okay.
So it was either meet there or meet ahead of time and walk over or take the
Yeah.
subway or whatever.
Maybe I'll just talk to Sunny and be like,
yeah.
I'll just have a seat here.
Yeah,
Do I
sure.
need to pay for
Nope,
that?
you're apparently you're good for now.
All right.
What,
How are you?
Things are good. Thanks for asking. Nobody asks for how Sonny's doing, so nice of you to
Oh,
notice.
I'm sorry that Velma doesn't treat you
Oh
well.
no,
Should I-
Velma checks in, but
Oh.
it's more like a boss kind of situation.
I see. Yes,
So.
I see the rapport that you have between Astorok and you, and it seems fun.
It's he's you know him. It's what it is.
Right. It is.
He'll go back to.
Yes, I'll just sit here and wait.
I'll probably come in around the same time as well. Okay. And greet Sunny. Hi, Sunny. How are you doing?
Hey. He's like kind of frightened of you a little bit.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
You seem a
no,
little tense
it's
today.
It's just
Do
no.
you need a hug?
I
Come
really
here,
don't.
come here, come here.
I don't.
Mm.
Make a grapple check. Sonny is kind of frightened of you, I would think.
Oh.
Just because you're a huge animal and he's quite tiny.
What is he again?
He's a goblin,
Oh, okay.
just a little old goblin.
Where's my dice? Okay. You say grapple?
Grapple check. So your strength athletics
Oh gosh.
versus his strength either athletics or acrobatics. He's going to use acrobatics
Strength.
or dex acrobatics to escape.
And you said strength athletics?
Yes.
Do I roll at all?
Yeah, you
Okay,
roll and then
cool.
add your bonus and your proficiency if you have it.
13.
Okay, he rolled a 12, 9 plus 3. So you're able to grapple and
Gently.
give a hug. What are Tutturu hugs like?
You kind of just like swole them up like a swaddle of blankets and kind of just.
I'm picturing Meatloaf's character from Fight Club, kind of. Just like a big, enveloping.
Yes.
Excellent.
With a little pat on the back as you walk away.
Okay. He's visibly uncomfortable with that, but like not repulsed. It's just like this is not how my day was I don't like this.
At this point,
So-
Velma steps out of her office because if she has an appointment with them, she definitely would have been ready for them. And I think she says to Tutturu, like, actually, in my club, we do require consent before grabbing and hugging anybody.
sorry.
Just future reference. See, no matter who's working here or not working here, we do require that.
I completely understand. I'm sorry, Sonny.
It's okay.
Sonny, you okay?
I'm good. Thanks, boss.
Why don't you take a break?
Thanks. And he will scurry out the front door.
Can you bring me a cup? Oh. I love coffee.
So
How are
it's
you
just
today?
the three of you.
How are you doing today?
Fine. Did the Jace thing happen last night?
No, I would say it's been 2 nights.
Okay.
I would say that there was a night off between the Jace thing. Yesterday, Astorok got his summons to come get his Wojek training. That will take a little while,
Okay.
and that you are free to tonight, maybe an extra day of activity to tidy up.
Okay. So it seems it's just the three of us for now. Astorok's off to train with some Wojeks. Is that right?
Sure.
So,
He seemed very tense about it.
I'd figure he'd be more excited, honestly.
Astorok is a good friend of ours, but I think that he's scared of advancement. I think he's excited to have his certificate. I don't know if you saw his certificate. He had a certificate, but
I heard many times.
I think the noted just from work we've given him here in the club, I've noticed that the more responsibility from his shoulders, the more he tends to flinch.
Well, he's certainly a good soldier, and I hope someday he understands the responsibility they're giving him. He certainly deserves to hold.
Of course he does.
I'm sure he'll do great after he gets into it.
Yeah, change is difficult for many of us to take upon, and then once it's there, it just becomes part of our new normal.
Yes. The biggest change for us is, of course, now being the guardians of the Guildpact, which
Yes,
I can't say I'm in love with that name, but
it's quite a mouthful.
it is. But I did do some research into it, and this is apparently a thing that can happen and is legal to do to enlist us into service for the Guildpact.
Oh, good. I was very concerned about the legality of it.
Yes, as was I.
Of course.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh no, it's very sincere.
Right.
I didn't know there were legalities that went into this.
Oh, there's legalities for everything, yes. Yes. Yes, so we should probably head over and meet them at the appointed time.
Certainly. And then the currently the what's it called? The enchanted letter or the glamour leather armor that she has on just looks like her typical traveling cloak that she normally with. You saw her wearing most of your journeys to the city.
Okay, so you're still looking like Velma, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's being more public as Velma right now because she's been asked to by the Orzhov, and she's like doing it on purpose now. She's like kind of being visible. And if she is been announced as being a part of this Guardian of the Guildpact, is that something that's been like publicly established?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I would
So-
say that has been. It's not a huge news story.
Mm-hmm.
It's no bigger of a news story than the Mended Pact.
Okay.
It sort of looks more like a PR move.
That's what I assumed,
on behalf of the Guildpact to try to get the good publicity of your group.
Yeah.
And so they're sort of spinning it like, oh, they kind of have these vanity hires, essentially.
Yeah, so I think that's why Velma is very publicly being Velma while she's doing this stuff, because in her mind it's like, oh, they wanted me to play nice for the cameras, and this is how, like, that's why she said yes so fast. She was like, this is the perfect way to play nice for the cameras. I'll do this, I'll go to their cocktail party, and then they'll get off my back.
Okay. I think we're ready to go then.
Great. So you guys are you want to walk over, take the subway.
I mean,
what do you
Astorok's not here, so let's go as fast as possible.
Great. You
Yes.
can take the airship, which
Yes.
if you'd really like to. So you guys head on over. Of course, the Generous Stray is on the Transguild Promenade, which is just up the street. You're really in the shadow of Augustin Station, which is the largest airship port in all of Ravnica, not just the 10th district. It's how all of the airship travel comes into and out of the 10th. Lots of flying beasts and airships of various types. You book travel from Augustin Station to the Millennial Platform, which is the first precinct's stop. the Millennial Platform, every citizen of Ravnica, in fact, is given a token every year to transport between Augustin Station and the Millennial Platform, which is one of the shortest jaunts of airship travel. What's up?
I thought I was already by the Millennial Platform.
No, you're by Augustin Station. So
Okay.
I had misspoken in a previous episode
Okay.
that you were
That's fine.
underneath the Millennial
Okay.
Platform, but regardless. So Augustin Station,
What precinct is the Guildpact in?
the first.
But we're already in the first.
So you're on the border of the first and the second.
Okay.
The chamber of the Guildpact is in the first,
Okay.
in the middle. So it's a very short. It's like an express.
Okay.
It's like two stops.
My thing was, do we even need an airship, or could we take like a carriage or something?
Probably
Yeah,
not.
I didn't know it was that close.
No,
Yeah.
it's probably more than half a mile, but less than a mile.
Oh, yeah.
So it's up to you.
We could have just walked, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we did take an airship just because Astorok
Sure.
isn't here. And we're
I
like,
guess.
So you board a little local airship. This is a very easy ferry back and forth. The airship you board is a Jess Karen's brand airship.
Of course.
Of course, it has to be one of the two major brands.
Probably not a
and
whole
this
lot of
one-
Bavlek ones happen. Or
Not-
Tanzrik.
Not as many Bavlik ones.
Or is it Tanzrik? Is that their...
Bavlik Tajrik
Tajrik.
is the name. So the Tajrik brand has a little bit of tarnish on it. Their stock has gone down a little bit, but they're still in use. The family is disconnected from Bavlik.
Okay.
He's sort of a black sheep of the family. But you get on board a small little shuttle, a little taxi, get on over to the Millennial Platform, and you get off in the at the Plaza of Harmony, in the main Plaza Avenue in the 10th District, which I'm not sure we've visited before, but this is sort of a boulevard. It's like a French-style parks, like the National Mall, kind of, in Washington, D.C. This place is neutral ground for not only the guilds, but the various factions therein, and also the guildless factions. So oftentimes there will be orchestrated, set up, and Azorius/Boros approved cordoned off areas so that the various goblin gangs have their, Hamsterdam equivalent, if you've ever seen The Wire, where they can do whatever it is their business is, and that's cordoned off and separated from actual citizens. And so there's lots of, but right now it's all peaceful. Lots of dignitaries taking their walk and talks. You see a family having a picnic on the lawn. And in the middle of the plaza of the Plaza Avenue sits the Plaza of Harmony, which is a statue surrounded by a concrete structure that has 10 entrances, one with each guild insignia on it. Sitting in the middle of the plaza is a 20-foot tall golden statue of an angel with one arm outstretched and one sword in its other hand on a 10-sided pedestal with each of the guilds on it. And from the gates of the Plaza of Harmony, out of each of them, you can see the various sites of the city. You can see Vitu-Ghazi to the east. You can see Sunhome to the north. Way off in the distance, you can see Nivix. You can very easily see New Prav from here. You can see Vizkopa Bank right on the plaza. As a matter of fact, Orzhov and the bank are both right on the plaza, and so they play a major part of it. And there's steeples as far as the eye can see fading into clouds. And to the south of the paved boulevard of Plaza Avenue sits your destination, which is the Chamber of the Guildpact. So if you guys head in that direction,
Yes.
yeah, cool. Easy walk, slow, beautiful little avenue on the way down. This is a building that is sort of egg-shaped, that has 4 bridges across it sort of sits in a fountain, this big, maybe 8-story building that is sort of egg-shaped and has 4-step bridges that are 100 steps each, that you can cross these massive arched staircases and go to this grand hall entrance. You see tourists, you see dignitaries standing in the office. This is the Chamber of the Guildpact. And standing nearby are many state employees of various kinds, And then there's a welcome kiosk, and at a welcome kiosk, you spot someone who spots you and immediately begins to sort of hurry in your direction. And that would be...
Yes, they are a blue-skinned Vedalken in very simple, kind of dark robes, a little bit of purple highlight. They have bright purple eyes, some markings on their face, similar to various other Vedalken have kind of different kind of familial lines that kind of give them a little bit more definition from in between each other, and they come right up carrying a clipboard, and they're like, yes, the new guardians. It's a pleasure to see you. Welcome to the office of the Guildpact. I am Trivaz. I will be your liaison. Welcome. I hope the travel wasn't too difficult.
It was fine.
Yes, airship isn't usually how we travel, but we can when we can.
Oh yes. Well, we have just a little bit of paperwork to finish up to get you all settled in, and I know your Minotaur friend is indisposed. It's training, so you have the time free, and I'm to travel with you for a little while to kind of fill out the rest of our forms and get acquainted with you. I'll be your official back and forth here at the Guildpact.
Well, you two will get along very well.
Yes, I do enjoy a good form now and then. If you'd like, I can fill out Astorok's forms. I have his information all written
no,
down.
it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, all right. All right.
As you're standing there, you see lots of various functionaries of the office of the Guildpact, representatives from all of the guilds of various kinds. More muted than the traditional garb, so you do see Azorius, but in a sort of more egalitarian wear. You see Gruul, more egalitarian style, more like fitted fur suits kind of deal. All of the representatives of all of the various guilds. I would say, real quick, make a perception check. Not you. It might be difficult to notice, but...
15.
Okay.
I think a dirty 20?
11.
Okay. Because you only had a description of what Tangi had mentioned to you about the type of person that had delivered the letter, you do see a similarity between the Gruul officials here at the Guildpact and their muted Gruul stylings and what Tangi was describing as the type of person who delivered the letter
To
Astorok. So, looks like it might have been a Guildpact representative, potentially.
Okay.
And so you're all sort of standing there.
How long have you been with the Guildpact? Trivaz, was it?
Trivaz.
Trivaz.
How long has it been? Think like almost 10 years, coming up in next month. It'll be about 10 years. Oh yes, it's been a while. Yes, and they enjoy my research here, to give me room to do my experiments.
Experiments?
Oh yes.
What sort of experiments?
Tinkering, some alchemy, some magical research. I have a very nice laboratory here, and in fact, it's my office is there, and it'll be the place where you can find me when you need to turn in reports and things like that. We can go there if you'd like.
If that's part of this,
Well, if you want, I can give you a tour of the office of the guild.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Sounds fine to me.
I was wondering about if our base of operations would be here, if we're given something of that sort, or is that...
Yes, I believe we have another office space adjacent to mine where you can store any things you need to have. There'll be space set up for you.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Okay.
So Trivaz will lead you down the hallway as you're having this walk and talk. Beast people and mechanical people of all kinds are making their way down the hallways. You see what appears to be a cyclops sort of lumbering through the halls. Everything from fairies sort of flitting along, having very small manila folders that they're sort of transporting across the various hallways as well. As you look up, you can see that there are holes in the walls at odd points that owls and spirits and all manner of beings, small and flying, can fly through. You go down a couple of hallways and you end up in a row of offices, one of which has Trivaz's name, and then another one that has no nameplate attached, but is adjacent.
So this will be your office, and this is my office. There's also a small little hole above the door, and as I open the door for my office, a little red drake, about this big, flies across the room and like lands and greets me, and it has like a little like folder for me, like a little bit of mail. I'm like, oh, well, thank you so much. This is AJ, and this is my drake. So if you need to deliver any mail at all, then you can always send it with them.
Oh, just in case you need AJ's stats, this is a lizard, except for that instead of a climb speed, it has a flying speed.
Do you have a cat in there?
I do. I can get a cat.
So,
Is Arthur's not with you?
No, but in case I need it.
Yeah, of course.
If you have like a red dragon, I could just...
Yeah, right?
Sometimes I use red
yeah.
dragon.
I mean, if we're giving familiars out.
There you are.
So
Deck of many.
Inside the office, the main entrance, like foyer, a space of it is there is a fairly like not super cluttered but very busy table. There's a lot of like piles of like folders of notes and like a handful of like books, just like one open with like a bunch of like handwriting all over it, and then through a archway opening into the back is a room full of like alchemy equipment and beakers and like a small tinkering station and like a workshop area that seems like it's not cluttered, but it is a little creatively organized.
I like that.
So, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
This seems a bit... it seems fine. It seems fine. Of course, we will handle our own space in the way that we see fit, but it just a little less organized than I'd like. But obviously, this is yours.
Everything has its place.
It does.
Yes.
I see. So this bottle of fluid on the floor is...
Oh, that is some hydraulic plasma. It needs to stay low to the ground. Gravity can alter it a little bit. If you put it high on a shelf, it can change the properties a little bit. So you got to keep it low.
No, that seems like something you should just not have in this space at all. But
Oh no, it's essential for my studies.
How does it know what floor you're on?
No, it's just lower to the ground.
Sure, but gravity would be... never mind. I'm not a scientist.
Didn't think about that part either. Yeah.
I think Lucian's having flashbacks to our school days.
No, it's
Dormitories.
fine. Some people take notes on the margins, and I take them on the lines. I understand.
Oh, yes. But you could use the whole page.
But you shouldn't. That's not what they're...
But
there's
there's so much
lines
page.
for you to write on. Then you're writing slanted, and it's fine. It's not a thing anymore. When we have our own space, we will just organize as we see fit, which I assume will just be me. Right?
Oh no,
You're
I'd be
okay
happy
with...
to.
You're all right with just me organizing everything.
Sure.
I might bring a couple things.
You do see that AJ, the Drake, has sort of scaled up to a desk, looked over at Trivaz, and there's a little perch that is small, tiny Drake sized. Looks like that is their typical perch, and is waiting there patiently and looking back between everybody.
So what is the atmosphere around the chamber of the Guildpact with our recent hiring, I suppose?
It's
is what to call it?
well, it's very interesting. We haven't Normally, you're a little outside of the normal hiring process. Normally, you go through other channels.
Are you saying the Guildpact doesn't just appear and freeze everybody and then ask you for a job? That doesn't normally. That's not the normal.
No, that is not the normal. But it is very special. It is. It is definitely the talk of the office.
Yes.
The new guardians of the Guildpact. We are so excited to have you here.
Well, we're happy to be here. I think we're not 100% sure how we can help the living Guildpact, but we will do our best.
Yeah. So speaking of the living Guildpact, how is he? We haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, you haven't seen him in a while.
Well,
Yes,
I think I saw him like 5 years ago.
Oh,
this is just
yes.
for personal
Yes.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed in remarkably good spirits.
Oh, that's good to hear. He was so nice. He was so nice when I met him.
Nice.
Was
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is certainly an adjective.
Yes.
Very broody.
I do wonder how you operate without him
He wore a
being
hood
present.
well.
Well, that is a question. There's this part of my personal research. One of my things, the very nature of how the Guildpact is embodied within somebody, and the strain that might take on a person. I wish I could see him somewhere. There's just
Yes.
yes.
Honestly, I just don't understand what he does with his time.
As
He has an
important things.
entire
Important things.
plane to take care of, but well,
As you're having this conversation, in that small hole above the door, you do spot a what appears to be a stone, like demon statue. Essentially, it looks like a put together with rocks, like an enchanted gargoyle almost, but small and sort of like something that you keep on your front porch. And AJ will notice and climb up a small rope ladder that's by the side and have an interaction with this gargoyle and collect a small scroll before the gargoyle heads off in the opposite direction. AJ comes back down and sets the scroll on your desk.
Mail cart.
Oh yes, it's I go over and open it. I'll say thank you to AJ, but I speak in Draconic. If anybody understands. And what's the?
It's just your updated schedule for the day.
Okay.
Today is fully clear for you, but it's sort of you were asking for notes on if you had any responsibilities, and essentially, that you're clear to go.
Yes. This is good. So I've been cleared for the day, so we can do whatever you need to do. I'd like to see how you guys operate, so we can make sure you're best integrated into the Guildpact.
see how we.
Well,
operate?
how just to fill out some of I am both liaison and kind of assessments a little bit.
You're giving us a performance evaluation.
No, not so much. I just want to see your personalities, and there's a bit of things missing in some of our reports.
Delightful, friendly, uptight.
Wait, uptight.
Our personalities.
I wouldn't say. I mean, it's more right than wrong, I guess. But
Very organized, very secretive, very open.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I will make some notes. So what does the rest of your day look like? I'm at your disposal.
oh, was that the end of it? I thought there was going to be some sort of orientation and
Well, we can.
explaining our
Did
duties.
you want to
and-
play two truths and a lie? I don't
well, you have-
understand
you
what
have-
you expected we would do here.
You have other business. I've heard from the others that you have business from the Guildpact, from the Living Guildpact,
I guess that's
and
true.
that you also have maybe other business. My day is free. I'm just here to be. I'm at your service.
Oh, all right. Well, we were going to wait for our Minotaur friend to finish his training, but I suppose we can take care of some smaller things. I believe we did have some locations to stake out. Or,
Yes, that's what I would like to do. Sure.
by all means, then, why don't you take the lead here? And
Okay. Well, as evidenced in mine, she kind of pulls out like the folio of maps that we were given, and she pulls out the folio on the Grand Basilica, and she kind of like discusses the fact that one of the details that was mentioned in the report on is it? Oh, sorry, I have the.
This is the Orzhov one.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name. I have it written down. Who's the woman?
Kaya.
Kaya, her name is Kaya. There was a mention of a vampire that visits on occasion, and also the basilica is one that I happen to know in my own research that a particular friend of mine also visits, and it just seemed like too strange of a coincidence to not be related. I thought maybe we could pay a visit to my friend at the establishment where we met him last time and just see if there's any sorts of hints at like a surface level investigation on the eventual search we'll do on the basilica.
Out of earshot from them, I just want to be like, by friend, you mean Selias?
Yes, that's what I was going for.
You were
yes.
being facetious. I understand. Yes, as long as we are agreed that there is going to be no backstabbing this time.
Oh, that moment has passed itself. Yes, indeed.
Wonderful. Okay.
Great.
We are
Good to know.
protectors of the Guildpact, guardians of it, and we should act accordingly, and not...
Is this out of earshot of Trivaz?
Just that first part.
Just the first part, but the backstabbing comment was not.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Trivaz gets a full earful of that one.
Yeah, and
You will-
when Trivaz, when they said that backstabbing thing, Velma just completely stopped talking. Like she just like clammed up.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not.
You will note, obviously, as you've pulled it out, but to catch the audience up, that the same basilica is referenced in your message.
Yes, harmony. Harmony Basilica. All right, then I suppose we should return to this Dead Reveler.
Indeed.
The Dead Reveler.
Have you
Oh,
been? Or
no, I've heard.
you-
I've
oh.
heard it's all the rage right here. It's a fun place.
Well, it's no generous stray, but sure.
Well, rage is a good word for it, as it
Yes.
is partly Rakdos. So, yes, I suppose that's our next destination, and I suppose you're welcome to come along.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you.
Oh, all right.
Personally, I wouldn't know anything about it because I've never been to the Dead Reveler, so.
Right.
But we were there.
I don't think she wants anybody else to know.
Oh. Yeah. I have never been there either.
I have never been there. I have been there. I can't lie about that.
Do you recall the purpose of why we were there? Why you were there?
What was the purpose?
I do recall. Would you like me to say it out loud?
I don't think you would like us to say it out loud.
I wouldn't,
Exactly.
but you're asking for it.
no, I was.
Oh, this is getting really
Is this
confusing. I don't know.
Is this a test? Are you testing us? Did you tell her? Let's just move on.
Okay.
She's just like blown away. She's like, "Who are these people I work with?"
Trivaz, I will get a copy of that document when you're done.
Yes, I'll have to take it to the proper channels.
Oh, that's what that feels like.
Oh, yes.
Oh man. Oh, that's delightful. So, this is Trivaz's office, and you take a look around, and it is delightfully unrefined, and or perhaps not so delightfully disorganized. Although everything has its place, reminds me of my sort of organization style. Of I know it's under the third book, like I get it.
And before Trivaz leaves, they'll go over and grab this vest of like studded leather with like piping on it a little bit, like a little Izzet looking.
Okay.
And you just kind of put it on underneath their vest, and it has a bunch of little pockets over it, in which they grab a couple of like flasks and things and stuff into places.
So Trivaz walks over to their laboratory setup. There are a number of vials of various shapes and sizes and colors, and they collect and are.
If we're leaving.
We are. I wasn't intending on getting into any conflict.
Oh no, some of these are for healing, and some of them are for other things.
Other things. Part of your tests, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right.
Any recreational potions that you have there?
Recreational how?
No, never mind.
Maybe something to make something float and give us a giggle. Or
Sure.
Colored fog.
colored fog
Sure.
would be pleasant.
That's
That
definitely
was
what I
a
meant.
side effect of one of these. Yes, let me see. I'll pull this little purple vial. I'll hand it over to you.
Okay. What did you hand to her?
It is a potion that we'll say it is a potion of of water breathing.
Okay.
But when you are breathing in the water, while you're in the water, every time you exhale in the water, it just comes out purple.
Yes.
Cool.
Nice.
Let's see what that does.
Amazing.
So write down that you have a potion of water breathing.
With purple air.
Purple water breathing. Potion of water breathing.
It's a potion of purple exhale.
And the water breathing effect lasts for 1 hour. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That wasn't the recreation I was referring to, but I'm happy to continue on with that journeys. And she looks at you guys when their back is like turned, and she's like,
So you're also able to stop into your office space, and that is literally what it is. It is a office space. There is a desk. There is a chair. There is a hole above the door, very similar to what you've seen around. It seems like this is where various animal companions or familiars or various other methods of transporting physical messages and items can be sent in. You do have a tall window that looks out. From your angle, it looks southwards towards the 100 steps, which leads to the 9th district. And so you don't have like the best view ever. You don't have like the view of the Las Vegas Strip. You're on the other side of the casino, right? But you do have a nice view of the vista of the 9th district and the Plaza South neighborhood, which is a very nice neighborhood anyway. It's not super dusty, but it's you can tell that it is disuse. Okay. It is clean. There is almost nothing else in the office, but it is at your disposal. And so
is there a poster that says you don't have to be crazy to work here, but if you do, you have to report it?
There is now. That's right. You can hang up your hang in there.
What's Ravnica Monday called?
What is Ravnica Monday called?
Like the actual day?
The actual day. I don't think that they've changed the names in the book.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah.
They may have. Let's find out.
Oh, wait, sorry to derail the game for that dumb pun. I was going to
No, that's delightful.
That was the months.
Okay. Months they've
I don't
changed.
think they changed the days.
Months
I could
for
be wrong.
sure they've changed.
Yeah.
Let's
Not even a pun, just
say...
the I Hate Mondays poster, but without
Right.
whatever Ravnica Monday is.
Exactly, yeah. It was one of the things that I thought that they were going to change in the book was that I thought that there were going to be 10 months of the year in Ravnica, which there are still 12, but neither here nor there. Yeah. Anyway, so you now have this office space that you can use at your disposal.
Okay.
As players in the game.
How big is this room?
This is probably I would say 15 by 20 foot office.
Okay.
And if you have any requests, let me know. I can send them up the ladder. We can get you anything you need.
Yes, I have several, but I will get them to you later.
Yes, in writing.
Oh, of course. Yes, in triplicate.
We only need one. Thank you.
In triplicate.
So you make your way.
Velma is loving watching this bureaucrat.
Maybe that's how you do
Absolutely.
things here, but
Oh gosh.
where I'm from, we do things in triplicate.
One for me, one for you, and one for my files. So you all make your way back out to the main vestibule area. As you walk out, you do see that there is a large symbol of the guilds, the familiar 10 guilds in a circle with the sun and the moon motif. In the center, it is a beautiful stained glass window. As the daylight sun pours in, angel staircases down into the middle of the room, where there is also that motif in the floor, in the familiar tablet of the guild's design, essentially. And you are able to go about your business.
Okay. So, what district was the Dead Reveler in again?
The Dead Reveler sits on the corner of Nat Alley, which divides the top 3 district or precincts from the bottom 3 precincts.
Okay.
Right? So it's exactly the middle point. And then there are the 2 main roads, the Transguild Promenade and the Tin Street, which trisect to divide into the 6 precincts.
Okay.
The Dead Reveler sits on the corner of Tin Street and Nat Alley. So it is just barely in the 4th district.
Okay.
Just barely.
Trivaz, do you have some sort of transportation provided for us? I'm not sure if that's something we get for ourselves or the Guildpact is providing that.
Do we?
You can ask if you'd like.
I can request something.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, I will stop into another office on the way and be like,
Knock on the door. Opening the door is a large crab octopus combination.
Okay.
Wearing a white robe and really wide, this is a hammerhead shark head, so really wide set glasses that sort of poke out in opposite directions. And looks like they have a white lab coat on and have a handful of, or a fin full of, maybe a tentacle full of files in their hand. Oh, Trivaz, can I help you?
"Hi, Erzine. I was wondering if we could, if we had any sort of transit that we could use. We have to get down to, you know, a little bit away."
Yeah, I can certainly check in on that. Did you have any? Are these the new folks?
Yes.
Oh,
these
very
are-
nice
these
to
are the
meet
new-
you.
The new Guardians.
The new Guardians. Very
Hello.
excellent. My name is Urzine. Urzine?
Yeah.
Urzine. And let me go let me talk to the transportation department.
Thank you so much.
And you can just wait out here, you can come in, either
No,
or,
no,
whichever
no.
you and they will go into their office and pick up a stone, essentially. And it glows with runes as they sort of communicate over this device.
And while Erzine is talking, I will turn to Tutturu and I'll like flip through my things on my clipboard really quick and be like, "So Tutturu, I'm just looking at our files and so we have like no information on your upbringing. Do you know what your parents' names were?"
Oh, That's an interesting question for sure.
Yeah, we're just trying to update everything and make sure first next of kin and all of that.
I've kind of grown up in the Conclave and didn't really have a particular parent per se.
Okay,
Just-
okay. Who should we put down as your like next of kin that we can get a hold of, or God forbid something happen, we can send your stipend to?
Oh goodness. I don't think I have family, but I would say probably someone who's my leader of the Verandai.
The new Vernati
Yeah.
leader. What did we name the
I
new
don't remember.
dryad?
How about Amara?
Yeah, Amara works. Amara.
Okay, to Amara.
So
Or
you're-
Tito?
You
statue.
Right, the statue. You know exactly who Amara
Yeah.
is,
Mhm.
so you're able to
Mm-hmm.
communicate that.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Urzine will come back out of the office. Oh, good news! We've been able to organize an armored transport for you. You'll be able to meet it downstairs.
Oh, thank you so much.
Armored transport?
Seems a bit excessive.
So yeah, the armored transport is essentially the name of what this is. It is a commonly used type of transport. It is armored, but that's what they have essentially.
So, Trivaz, I think the way that we tend to operate is a little less flashy, a little more clandestine. I think that if we're going to be investigating various guilds, I don't know if they would love it if we kept pulling up in wagons saying, "Here we are investigating the guilds." Like,
Oh, we can take other transit then.
yeah, is there
You just asked if this is what we have.
do you have any
Yeah, we could probably organize something that's a little bit more clandestine.
Perhaps, is there a system where we could just have some sort of reusable tokens for the subway or the airships?
Oh, for sure, we can get you guys metro carts.
The occasional stagecoach.
Yeah, sure, certainly. Or I mean, but there's always the option. But I completely understand if you want to, especially for you folks, stay out of the public eye, as it were, and we'll wink one of its hammerhead eyes. But certainly, you can. I typically just take the subway. It's the easiest way to get from point A to point B around town. And so, I don't know exactly where you're headed, but that's certainly an option.
Well, it is good to know that we do have an
Yes.
armored transport at our
course.
disposal in case we ever want
I
to
think we need it, but
invoke fear.
true.
Go into a Gruul territory.
True.
Right.
I just think that today, perhaps pulling up in front of Dead Reveler in a car that says "We are the cops" might not be the best particular avenue.
It is the equivalent of like a black SUV,
Yeah.
right? With like super tinted windows that says there is a famous person in here.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of what.
Oh, I was thinking
requested.
like an FBI van where it's like cable company.
Oh no!
Like-
It's not like that. It's more like a big Chevy Suburban.
Gotcha.
Sponsor us, Chevrolet. Because I know you're
Pay for
watching.
my car.
You're home for armored transports. But yeah, it's that would be sort of the
You're home for
equivalent.
obvious celebrity vehicles.
Yes,
Do
exactly.
you know how often celebrities like to ride around in Chevy Suburbans?
Well, sure. Yeah, I didn't. Maybe it was more Cadillac Escalade. is
Yeah, it
what
might
I
be a
was
little
thinking.
more.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm. Whatever.
You know
So
how-
anyway,
just imagine Jay-Z rolling up in a
in a
Chevy Suburban.
in a Chevy Suburban. Yeah, that's not exactly right. You're right. Yeah, more Cadillac or Land Rover, but like all black. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so
Pulling up to the Grammys.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Sorry, I'll continue.
So you will. They'll give you either Metro cards or more tokens for airship travel, stagecoach, valet kind of ticket kind of thing. If you're looking for more of a less obvious method of transportation. And so you're able to get all that. Anything else you want to do while you're here at the office?
Maybe we should discuss our plan once we arrive.
Yeah, we should probably figure out how we're going to do this.
Yeah, that would be effective.
So we'll say that you guys all collectively get. Do you want to take the subway, or are you getting a vehicle, like a land vehicle?
Just like a regular carriage would be fine.
Yeah, carriage
Yeah.
is fine.
So you'll whistle for a carriage, and using the Uber app equivalent, and just hail a cab, and
yeah, there were ways to get cabs before there were apps. I mean,
sure,
like,
yeah. You'll hail a cab.
we make the Drake call us a cab.
Right. And
There's an
this-
app on the Drake called Flight. It's FLYT.
Right, FLYT. I like it. And so you will hail a cab, and it is being pulled by an Indrik, which is a large beast, sort of alpaca-like, but bigger, like maybe more like a camel, but also mostly hairless and more pachyderm-like feet.
I hear they're very affectionate.
Indeed. And this is pulling essentially a rickshaw behind it, and but it's like a nice big, like going through Central Park kind of carriage, but with a roof, and you're able to transport easily across town. As if you guys have anything else to talk about while you're in the car.
So I suppose now we should talk about our plan.
Sure.
So we're going to the Dead Reveler for your contact?
We're going to Dead Reveler to do some reconnaissance. We are going to scope out the area and see if there's any sort of evidence of contact within my investigation.
Oh, this is so exciting. I've never done reconnaissance before.
Have you not been on many away missions?
Oh no, usually I'm in my lab.
Oh, well, we're happy to have you along. I don't think there's going to be any excitement, hopefully. So
And as you say that, there's an abrupt break, and you all sort of lurch in the cabin, and you can look out and see that there is just a massive turtle making its way across the road. This turtle apparently has a business of some kind on top of it. You can't really make out the details of what the business is, but it is
Blockbuster.
very slowly moving across the road. And as it moves on, you're able to, the carriage is able to keep going, and everything is all right.
Yes, exciting.
that'll probably be the most exciting thing we go into today.
Hopefully.
Yes. But should we have a cover? I think we sort of had mass last time, but Was that a special event sort of thing, or is that what they do all the time?
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't been at Dead Reveler, but if you wore a mask when you were there,
Right.
then yeah, it might be a good idea to not. I would say that it would not be fortuitous for me to arrive in an Orzhov-run, a partially Orzhov establishment as myself, while investigating the Orzhov. I think that might be a no, I don't know. It might be rude. So I should disguise myself, and I feel like if you're there, then people will associate you with me, so I think that disguising yourselves would be a good move as well.
If you think that's viable, I'm not the best at lying, so just putting on a different face is technically lying, and probably against many laws, but I suppose to get results,
Again,
At least one that I can think of.
at least one.
we are serving the Guild-Pact, so we are kind of working with the law.
This
No,
is true.
I agree with you there, but the other part of this is that I am not a good performer when it comes to those things, and I might, at the first instance, just whip out a badge and say, hey, I'm in the Azorius.
How about we give you a badge that says Guild-Pact, and you can whip out the Guild-Pact badge?
Is that better? I can do that.
You do all have your licenses that were delivered. There is no badge equivalent.
But does it have his name on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that wouldn't be great for being in disguise if he has
Sure.
a badge with Lucian Ladrian
It's
written
true.
on it.
I mean, I suppose I could get by just being myself, right?
I suppose we could go under the guise of having an entertaining day out.
I mean, we are the guardians of the Guild-Pact. It would be great for us to be seen about mingling between guilds.
True.
And I do know the supposed owner, Ulrich.
I don't know if he's going to be super excited to see you again.
I'm certain he won't remember me at all, which we can use to our advantage, but
Yes.
there's probably some sort of other form I can get him to fill out to waste his time. But we can get the information required anyways.
And what information is that again?
Oh, yes.
I don't 100% know, to be
Okay.
honest. I'm just trying to look for ties between the Dead Reveler and what's happening at the Harmony Basilica.
Got it. Okay.
So we'll have to get into some sort of back office maybe, find some sort of document saying as such.
Perhaps similar to theoretically what might have happened there in a previous instance. Also, just being aware of who may or may not be doing business within the casino floors and such type things.
Oh, yes.
I just have a hunch about the Dead Reveler, and I have reason to investigate it.
Fair enough.
Sounds like a good plan. All right.
So
I have
you,
to be very clandestine about this. As an Orzhov, it being an Orzhov establishment, I have to be political about it.
So you do make your way across town from the office down the Plaza Avenue, which heads sort of north-northwest up until you hit Nat Alley. Nat Alley sort of stops and starts, and so the driver takes you in and out across the various roads that require to get on and off of the main thoroughfare. And as you cross across the top of the first, which cuts beneath the fourth, you eventually head into less and less nice neighborhoods. You cut across through the Basilica District, which is an Orzhov sort of area. You see the bank, the Vizkopa Bank, and Orzhova, the Church of Deals. On your left to the south, various other church-like buildings. You're not exactly sure which one is Harmony, unless you are.
I think she would if she's been studying the maps and stuff.
Okay,
like that.
then yeah, Harmony Basilica you spot it to the right, just north, in a little off into the distance, but not on the main thoroughfare.
Okay. Also, while they're riding there, since she is going to be presenting herself as Velma Sweet at the Reveler, she has taken out her like makeup kit and is like actually put on like more full face like she would if she's at her club at night.
Sure.
And then she also mutters the word ribbons that her armor changes from the cloak to a more like presentable like gown, like not a gown because it's daytime, but like
a more like formal, like nice dress to be like
Right.
at a casino with.
What do these ribbons look like?
Ribbons is her word of power. For
Right, but what do they?
whatever.
What do? Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
just the
I thought
word.
I gotcha. Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
No, I think
so
the dress
interesting.
looks like sort of like almost like when you have like feathers, like you know like those like dresses that have like the like kind of like neckline or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like almost like it's like that's kind of happening right there.
Cool.
And then it's like black and kind of like form fitting and
Sure,
very sleek
sounds
And,
great.
with the slit.
While she's getting ready, I'll look over at Lucian and be like, Mr. Lucian, our records of the Ladrians, well, they're quite considerable, but we're curious, at least the Guildpact's curious, why you are merely an investigator given your parentage.
Oh, I I chose not to use any nepotism to get me ahead, and wanted to be earned instead of given.
Okay.
I know that might seem odd, especially in
Oh, no.
such a big. Anyways, that's what I chose.
That'd be good.
Is that really a question that was on your list, or was that just you asking me something?
Oh, yes.
I'm just gonna be awkwardly carving in stone while this is happening.
So you make your way across through Orzhov territory into less and less safe neighborhoods. You know that you're now getting more into the ramshackle smelting district and the Tin Street neighborhoods. You know that Nat Alley isn't all entirely super safe or super rich or any of that. And as you make your way over to the Tin Street, you do see a lot of... this is not a market district, much more of a slum. You do see people out on the street and milling about. It is less densely populated here, and as you make your way out of that district, you do come back into sort of the Tin Street area. As you approach from the east, you do start seeing the crowd forming out front of the Thespians stage, which, as you know, is adjacent to the Dead Reveler. The Thespian stage has a large number of what look like, specifically look like Gruul fans of various kinds who are waiting for their time to go in. And you do see there appears to be a concert this evening at the Thespian stage.
Okay.
The caravan makes its way around. Looks like there's what appears to be like a rock concert happening, and then you get to the Dead Reveler, which you have all been here except for Trivaz.
Do I know the name of the band that's performing at the
You do.
stage?
This is King Zikor and the War Boar.
King Zikor?
King Zikor, Xicor, and the War Boar.
Okay, and have they performed at my club before?
No.
Okay.
This is a band that's actually from the 6th district. They are a traveling act.
Okay.
And that's pretty far away, but they're a really popular traveling. This is like a prog rock kind of band, and they're made up. There's like a 9-piece prog rock band.
Would Velma be familiar with the band and who the members of it are?
Probably not.
Okay.
This is a much more first of all, the Gruul are particularly short-lived amongst folks, and so this was not a group that was performing when you were performing.
Okay.
And they have not performed at the Stray.
Okay.
But it's potentially possible that a member has been to the Stray, but again, they're from far away and not really a club-going group.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a Grateful Dead kind of, progressive rock kind of group.
Is there something I can roll to determine if a member of this band has been to Stray before? Because I have a reason
Sure.
that might come into play later if I know who.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm
Go
asking.
ahead, and what would we roll for contacts here? What do you think? Or do you just want to say that you do know someone?
I'm happy saying I know someone, but I want to
Cool.
let you make this decision as DM if that's okay or not.
Let's say that you do know someone
Mhm.
in the band.
Okay.
Pick an instrument.
Trumpet.
You know the trumpet player
All right.
in this progressive rock band. The trumpet player's name is
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. Bartholomew?
Yep.
Or Bartholomew?
No, I can't.
Bartholomumble.
Bartholomew.
Kind of just like mumbles it off at the end, so I'm never really sure.
Plays trumpet.
Okay.
Bartholomew is a
He's a goblin.
goblin.
Okay. Okay.
So Bartholomew, the trumpet-playing goblin of King Zikor and the War Boar. You know from a while back.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll charisma for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is your
strongest kind of
charisma?
bonus.
Just charisma.
Just my charisma plus
Just
4.
4. Okay. Okay. You don't know whether they remember you fondly or not. I will
Once
save
they made
this
it a
number
goblin,
in mind.
they ruined. They it made my plan not workable.
Oh,
so
okay.
don't worry about it.
Cool. So you think
Which
that
is
you-
fine because it was
Right.
like I was setting up a long game. So
That's quite all right.
yeah.
So but you do know Bartholomew, the trumpet-playing goblin.
Yeah.
It's potentially feasible that that's a person you know on a first name basis. It's
Okay.
potentially feasible that other members of the band have been in the Stray and you just didn't know.
Okay.
We can work that out later.
Sure. I may still be able to use this, but yeah,
Yeah.
not for what I was planning on doing originally.
The one you know best is Bartholomew.
Okay.
Great. So you get out
I would
of
say
your
that they're friends with Sunny.
right. There you go. So you get out and you see attached to the stately and old Thespian stage, which has been there forever. You see what looks like a repurposed warehouse has now been turned into the Dead Reveler Casino. The Dead Reveler is a brick building, no windows really. There might have been some high windows at one point, but those have been bricked off at this point. You see there are 2 entrances that you can see, and the rest of you know that there's a third one on the far side, on the Tin Street side. And each entrance is manned by a large, hulking humanoid, but much bigger, probably ogres or half-ogres of some kind. And the one working the door closest to the Thespian stage is the one that was working the door closest to the Thespian stage last time you were here. A very large man in shirtless, but well-built, has leather pants that sort of peek up into their into their sternum region. They have gauntlets on that are kind of spiked, and they wear a skull mask and have horns. You cannot tell whether or not they are Minotaur horns, as I'd mentioned previously. And they are sort of asking folks, present identification. As this is the Hellhole Flailer that you ran into last time. There is also the main entrance, which appears to also be manned by a similarly bedecked and bedazzled person.
I flash my Guild-Pact identification badge.
Go in.
I guess I'll do the same. I'll follow suit, yeah. That seems to get us in.
And he'll look you up and down. You lost?
Oh no, I'm here to gamble.
Go in. And so you all make your way in to the Dead Reveler. And before you walked in, you did see the big sign, the 2-story tall neon animatronic sign of a zombie in tails with a top hat, and the animatronic lifts the top hat, and with the skull, of course, goes with the top hat. And you're now in the Dead Reveler, which we have a slight layout of here. You do see in the front here. So you're entering through this entrance over on this corner. And in front of you are gaming tables of various kinds, various dice and cards. There appears to be a spinning wheel as well. The bar area here appears to be manned by a ghost of some kind. There is a small stage with a performer performing for mostly a back room in this corner, a bit of a go-go dancer kind of setup. You look further in, there is a fighting pit. It does not look like fights have started yet, but people are sort of milling around. In that fighting pit area, you do see a familiar ogre that you know is Ulrich, sort of wearing a large, has to be large, but also torn at the sleeves, tuxedo jacket. And carrying himself a mace that is doubling as a staff or a scepter of some kind, and sort of glad-handing and meeting all of the people who are there. Most of the area is obscured by fog, as it appears as if there's some magical effect that's permanently keeping fog from being in the area. You do see a couple of stages around featuring various performers. There's a juggling act of two small Rakdos demon cackler people who are sort of tossing fire between them. On this stage over here, there's a DJ booth suspended from the ceiling over in this side of the room, closer to the tin street. And the whole layout is at an angle. So up here is sort of almost to the ceiling, and the whole layout sort of cascades down in this direction onto the floor. The fighting pit in the middle, of course, digs deeper into the floor. There's also the high roller area that you all saw Feather in last time. These tend to be much higher limit games and things like that. And it is already buzzing.
Velma is like quietly judging it again because she just thinks there's too much happening. They don't like business needs to have a more simplified decoration system and just you don't need to have a DJ and a performing booth and a just
It is a lot.
There's so much happening.
there is no
It is-
consistency to the aesthetics.
This is so much fun.
Oh, of course it is.
As you enter, lots of eyes turn in your direction as many people seem to recognize that some of the members of the Mended Pact have arrived here on site and sort of clamor and whisper to one another and point, and some people cheer and some people sort of like eye you strangely, and it is a bit of a sight. What would you all like to do? Hand me all your minis, by the way, because I want to see where everybody ends up.
I think Tutturu is kind of gonna stay closer to the back and kind of like awkwardly shuffle around because this is a little claustrophobic for her. A lot of grotesque smells.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Kind of reeks of blood and fire and ash.
And also of casino, like, you know, smoke, and
Yeah.
then there's the sweat and blood from the pit. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then there's also the perfume that they put into the air to try to cover it up and keep their air of decency.
I think Velma is going to kind of play up the like grandiose Orzhovness of it, and so I think she is going to find like a nice table, like a booth or something. Like I don't know, like a very well positioned table, and order a round of drinks.
Great.
For the
So you
group.
want to come over to the bar?
Sure.
All right.
But is there? I assume she's
There's
going to.
seating in this bar area.
I
as
assume
well.
Velma is actually not going to go to the bar. She's going to assume a server is going to come to her.
Oh,
'cause
sure,
She's
sure,
playing
sure.
up the opulence right now.
Of
She's
course.
playing up the like, we are celebrities. We are here.
Yep. A valet will walk over to you, and you have seen someone like this before. This is a ghoul person. Walk up to you with a notepad in hand and a pen, and they are have fully black eyes. They are humanoid, but very clearly dead, and will walk up to you and tilt their head.
I will take a glass of red wine. And whatever my friends are having.
Water, please.
They'll write down after side glancing, and you can have what you wish as well.
I'll have a glass of red wine as well.
Sure, I'll go with the same.
And it will hold up. It's missing this finger, so it will hold up these three fingers. And then walk to the bar. The bar appears to be operated by a faceless, hooded, semi-translucent being of some kind that is using using its hands in a very fluid motion, but it looks like it almost looks like there are multiple hands doing all of the things as it's sort of doing a dance over the drinks as they are being poured and made. And the zombie person will walk off, and you see amongst the various folks lots of craning necks and eyes that are looking around. And after being served already, a different server will lean over the railing and look at you all and say, can I get you folks anything? And this is a centaur person who appears to have sort of a drink cart set up on its
the same one we saw
back.
last time?
Make a, what would this be? History or investigation?
Okay, I will do investigation.
Cool.
I remember seeing a centaur last time.
I do.
I don't think I saw it either.
I don't think you did either.
Well, I only got 5, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Sort of a worried expression on their face, but can I get you anything, folks?
Can you let Ulrich know that I'm here to see him? My name's Lucian.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I will do that. And you notice that this centaur is trying to make eye contact with you,
Okay.
Tutturu.
All right. Well, I guess I'll make eye contact as well.
Okay.
Acknowledge.
Make a insight check.
Just stare at them.
Yeah.
Staring contest, I'm gonna win.
And let's try you. Oh, you're not a spin down. Okay. Yep. Insight is +4, 6.
I think this is what happened last time.
I think this is exactly what happened last time.
Kind of stare blankly.
Yeah.
Poor centaur. At the mercy of our bad rolls.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
will sort of make its way off, looking over its shoulder quite a bit, as the centaur moves through the tables towards Ulrich in the middle.
What's your name?
Velma. Oh, sorry.
What's your name? Oh, okay.
Is there something wrong with that centaur?
You can make an insight check.
Okay. Pinky.
Ooh.
21.
Hey.
Blackjack.
You can recognize that this centaur, works here, doesn't love working here.
Mm-hmm.
Your sense is that this is probably a indentured or debted person.
Mm-hmm.
And the sense that you get off of them is that they were not really, it's not, what's the word? Very surprised, but also extremely relieved to see Tutturu specifically.
Did you know that centaur?
I don't think so.
Well, they're very happy to see you. They don't like their job very much.
I kind of sit there and think about it for a little bit, I think, and try to place
Okay.
that face.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're probably in debt to the Orzhov.
No, that's so sad.
I mean, it happens sometimes. People can't get out and they owe debts and they have to work for them.
It's just how the system works, I guess. Velma is scanning the room to look for... She already knows that the centaur is talking to Ulrich, so she's looking for anyone else who is, like, talking to... Like, a manager who's, like, reporting that they're there. Like, she
Sure.
wants to know if it's being reported that they are there.
Sure, make a perception check for me.
Okay. It's your dice, though.
Again, it's foggy in here, so it's tough to see too much, but you're taking keeping an eye on Ulrich,
Man, my dice today are killing me.
looking over to the high limit
I got
area.
6. Don't worry about it. I
Six.
barely know that I'm in a building right now.
Yeah, 6. So 6 doesn't
This
necessarily
dice is
mean...
going to jail right now.
So because you both rolled 6s, keep in mind that 6s don't necessarily mean that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It just might mean that it takes a while.
Okay.
And so we're going to leave that on the back burner. And then for you, it's there's fog, but you
Okay.
don't spot anything immediately.
Okay.
But as you keep looking, things might pop up.
Okay.
As the zombie valet walks back up to you and presents a tray with your drinks.
I put some coins down for the cost of the drinks, and like a generous tip.
Generous tip.
I
from
put
the generous tray.
Yes, I put what like in my bar would be like a decent amount of money to pay for these drinks, and
Nice.
like a tip as well.
Absolutely.
So it's probably way more than someone makes it normally at this establishment. But
At this point, a young Viashino man will walk up and say, "Hey, I'm just such a big fan of you all, and I just wanted to say thank you for what you did, and it's really great to see folks fighting for Ravnica, and I'm just a big fan."
sure. What's your name? Sorry, Ruben.
Naron.
Hello, Naron.
So this is Naron, the Viashino fanboy, is what I'll write in my notes. Naron.
We have a fan club. It's gonna be great.
Ugh.
Naron. I just, so, I noticed, so, is the other, is Astorok here? He's my favorite. I'm sorry, I like you all, but, I'm trying to be, he like represents me, you know what I mean? Like came up rough, and I grew up kind of rough and tumble too, and to see that you can, make something of yourself. Is he coming?
Oh, Naron, Astorok is currently training to be even more glorious in battle.
Oh, okay. And you see that they're pretty disappointed by that, but sort of still proud and honored, and well, that's good. That's Astorok, I guess. Well, you tell him that Naron, he wouldn't know my name. I'll see if I can mail something maybe that you can sign, that he can sign, that you all can sign maybe. I don't have anything on me.
Sure.
Really?
Just send it to the Stray, I guess.
The Generous Stray?
Sure.
Yeah, I've not been, but I think I might.
You should.
It sounds great.
If you come to karaoke night, Astorok often hosts it.
I didn't know that. Is that true?
I didn't hear it from me.
That's amazing.
Don't tell anybody.
So,
We have a capacity limit.
Velma, I'm not sure if we can use our current job to elicit business for our other jobs.
I'm just trying to help you gentlemen meet Astorok.
I'm just
#networking.
right.
Who are you?
Oh, hi. I'm Trivaz. I work for the Guildpact.
Okay. So anyway, I just like you all a lot, and if maybe can I buy you all a drink or something? What can I do anything for you?
I have a drink, thank you. Why don't
we
you
just head around?
Why don't you help someone less fortunate than us?
That's so like you. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's okay. I will do that.
Tell you what, why don't you buy a box of dough circles and hand them out to children in the neighborhood?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Not now because I'm like here with some of my friends, but I will definitely do that.
That's what Astorok would do.
Astorok would say that the less needy are more important than your friends right now.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm just a big fan, and he will extend his little claw hand and like, can I it's just so nice to,
of course.
It's just so nice to.
She's gonna
Okay.
awkwardly back my
Okay.
Thank
It's
you.
just, and then look at Velma and be like,
Oh no, Velma would do like a charmed,
yeah?
like that kind of like very
and
much
then
like,
we'll still shake.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just
That's
very.
how we-
It's
okay.
just I just thank you again. It's just so yeah. So you guys have a good night.
No, the pleasure was all ours. Thank you so much for your company.
Okay. Yeah, and then you'll see a look just come across Naron's face as they sort of walk back over to their friends, essentially. No interest whatsoever in you. None. No interest whatsoever.
They were just a little starstruck, of course, and
Oh yeah.
not that I consider myself any sort of star.
At this point, you will notice that the word has apparently spread and someone emerges from one of these high up rooms as you see a being emerge. from one of the private suites up near the top where the security station is.
Mhm.
And you can't see their feet, but it looks like they effortlessly glide down this staircase a bit.
Okay.
And appear to be making their way down towards the center of the room.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you place the face of the centaur operating the drink cart. This is Boruvo. Boruvo is a centaur that you knew from the Conclave and from your work at the Crossroads Orphanage.
Okay.
This is one of the orphans.
Okay.
Boruvo? Boruvo. B-O-R-U-V-O. Boruvo. I will also make a note. And this is one of the many orphans over the years that you've worked with, sort of lost track of after aging out of the orphanage, and has somehow made their way here.
Oh no. How did that happen? They were going to be botanists and take care of the flowers in the gardens. What happened? I have to find him and talk to him.
Okay. You see the character that you know is Selias make their way over to Ulrich and sort of speak to Ulrich. And not really looking in any particular direction is Selias, but you do see Ulrich's head pop up and crane their head sort of in the direction of the bar that you are all at. The night is just sort of entering its crescendo of like really good party time. The casino is bumping, the seats are full, people are cheering when they win, and excuse me. Can I have another water, please?
Yeah.
People are cheering when they win, and there's raucous performance happening. Thank you so much. From the jugglers at one of those tables, the go-go dancer over on the side is performing and sort of giving their FaceTime to the folks out here, as well as to the private room that is back watching the stage there. The DJ booth is bumping, and it is loud, and it is a great atmosphere in here.
Sure it is.
So you guys staying at the bar?
Yeah.
Velma is
far.
watching Selias very subtly. Like she's if he goes different, she like is checking him in her makeup mirror. She's not like watching him like this, but she's making a point of always keeping him within a few seconds of her vision.
And it is not hard to, if you're keeping an eye out for that. And Salius is so far away that if you're using a mirror in your way to do that, it's not going to be able to be tracked in any way. So I won't even make you roll.
Okay.
This is something that you're trained in as well.
Yeah.
This sort of sleight of hand stealth kind of situation.
But he wouldn't show up because he's a vampire.
In the mirror?
So he wouldn't show up. Just
That's fair.
Are those Ravnican rules for vampires?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting Ravnican rules for
I don't
vampires.
think that's true.
So let's quickly recap, just very quickly, that some of the tropes hold true, some of them do not.
Yeah.
For example, vampires can go out during the day. They can.
Just no one invites them. It's really sad, actually.
They just don't like it.
They don't have friends.
They
get sunburned easily.
they can have garlic, for example. You know, not
love
every
garlic.
trope is necessary. However, there are a couple of tropes that do hold true. They must be, in order to enter a building, they must be invited.
Okay.
They do drink blood. And Velma, you would know that the phrasing of how the blood trade works, because you've done a lot of research into Selias. They use a lot of terminology similar to the Orzhov banking terminology. And so whenever an Orzhov is speaking of banking, it's sort of up in the air which one they're talking about.
Okay.
And so they do have the fangs, and they can, and some of them can shapeshift. Some of them drink blood. Other ones drink minds and are mind drinker vampires. Those are the Demir kind typically, whereas the blood drinker vampires tend to be more Orzhov. And you see Selias.
2 great guilds that I'm a member of.
You see Selias make their way over to the high limit area and speak to what appears to be a thrall person thing, with a gold mask that covers the skull and the front portion of their face. Real gross looking flesh beast of some kind, standing on a podium with a list in front of it. The tiny thrall is wearing a bow tie and a suit jacket as well. And Selias walks over and speaks with them.
Okay. I am going to get up and make my way to the ladies' room.
Okay. Great.
Where is it?
So, as I mentioned, the whole setup is at an angle here, right? Mm-hmm. And the way that works is that the angle sort of cuts at this part, because this is flat and this is flat, and as this goes up, there's sort of like a triangle, and in those are doors to the back offices, which you took last time you were here, as well as restrooms. And so there is a restroom sort of built into the wall, let's say in here.
Okay.
So you want to go?
Yeah.
You just leaving?
For now, yeah.
Cool.
So when she gets up, I'm just gonna say Velma, and kind of look over to where Selias is, and just be like.
And so you.
And I actually look at you, and I look at him, and I kind of just nod, and I kind of scratch my eye, and I'm telling you, watch him.
You see Selias leaning sidelong, sort of just on the pedestal, facing sort of out, but facing in your general-ish kind of direction.
Okay. I'm gonna go play some cards and listen around.
Oh, all right.
Do you guys need me for anything? I'm just here to watch you.
I was going to have you help me with Ulrich, but I think
yes,
having.
What can I do?
Oh, well, I requested a sort of meeting with him, and I met with him last time, and he has the IQ of someone who would name themselves Ulrich. So.
Is that a family name?
No, I believe he just didn't know what to put, so he put the same thing again.
Oh.
Basically, he gets very frightened when actual labor and legalese is involved, and usually just spouts out anything you want to know to stop that from happening. And I feel like 2 of us doing that from both sides could certainly get the information that we require.
Oh, this is exciting. Yes.
I thought so.
I'm actually going to look for that centaur and see if I can find anything out from them.
Sure.
As well.
Yeah, so you can wander, and the centaur does not take long, as they tend to be working in the pit area here, the gaming pit as opposed to the fighting pit, and so you spot them sort of serving drinks. So we're splitting up a little bit, so let's move scenes here. Who would like to go first?
Well, what I'm doing in the bathroom
Yes.
is I'm basically going to say ribbons. I'm going to go into a stall, say ribbons, change my outfit into what looks like one of the concert goers' outfits from outside. So it's like more of that punk kind of vibe. And then I'm going to cast Disguise Self to look like one of their fans. So I'm just going to kind of this spiky haired. And
Cool. So you got a Zcor and the War Boar T-shirt on.
Oh, I'm not that pedestrian.
No? Okay.
No, I'm gonna have cool on as if as if I'm imagining someone going to a Gwar concert,
Sure.
wearing cool spiky collars.
Gotcha.
Like that.
So yeah, you're much more
First of all, even on Ravnica, no one wears a shirt of the band they're singing. So
fair. That's a good
I
point.
wish I could have tattoo instead.
Right. Exactly. So you have I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you have something. You have a Shark the Crab, like band T-shirt, because that's a different band.
She's not wearing a T-shirt.
No, not a band T-shirt.
She's wearing like something like something with a lot of buckles and clasps.
Okay,
on it
cool,
and,
cool.
Like plaids, that kind of like that kind of stuff. It's all
I
those
understand
spiky
Okay.
The band's called the Warboards. They're gonna have some Mad Maxy.
Lots of
vibes.
clasps and.
I just like the idea of Velma going to the bathroom. It's
snaps.
like, all right, time to get in disguise, and just puts on the T-shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Walks out like I'm
A
ready.
pair of glasses.
Yes.
Puts her hair in a ponytail.
Right. It's Clark Kent
do
now.
this.
Yeah.
So,
She pulls her hair down from a space.
so that's what you look like, and once you do that, what do you do?
I head up towards. I head not up. I head the way that I know leads. Like if I go that way, like towards the back offices.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the door that you took last time
Yeah.
as well.
Well, last time I went up to the security thing and went
Oh, yeah,
down,
you went
but
down
I
from
know
the security
Lucian and
door.
Astorok went
Came in this way.
and we came out this way, so I know familiarity. I have an idea of this.
As you're turning and you're keeping an eye on Selias,
Yeah.
you do see Selias making his way this way.
Okay.
Tutturu, you do recognize the centaur person, and they are currently serving a drink and setting it down on the table and collecting an empty glass, and then moving to the next person, setting it down on the table and collecting a tip and empty glass, and they are working their way around a table.
All right, I'm gonna wait for them to finish before I interject because I don't want to mess with their work.
Sure, so they will set that down, and then as they turn to move to the next table, hi.
Hi, Baruvo?
Oh, you do remember me. Hi.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It took a little bit, but I see you're working here now?
Yeah. Yep, it's my job.
How have things been? I thought you were going to be going into the conclave and doing botany and...
Yeah, Bonnie's on hold for now. You know, just working, you know, paying the bills, you know.
Do they seem like they're being honest?
Insight check.
Yeah. Come on. Woo! Natural 20.
Natural 20.
24.
Nice.
Yeah, they're very clearly
Staring into their soul.
right. They're very clearly hiding from you what the purpose of them being here is.
Okay, well, I can see that they seem very...
Jumpy.
Yeah, not at ease right now, so I'm just going to say, well, you know where... I'm still at the same Vernati, and you know where to find me. If there's anything
Sure.
you need help with, please let me know. Anything.
Baruvo will just hug you, just like start weeping.
Oh, it's okay. Do you want to go somewhere? Can you take a break?
No, I can't take a break. I have to. I have work to do, and they will sort of try to stiffen up and look over their shoulder to see if they're being watched in any way. Why are you here?
I'm here with some friends. I don't know if you've heard of the
Mended Pact. Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen it in the papers.
I'm here with them
Oh,
for reasons to kind of check the place out. I've never been here before.
are you on a secret mission? Are you on a secret mission?
I like try not to smile, and I'm just like, we should probably catch up sometime.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, if you need anything from me when you're, you know, here, not on your secret mission or anything, you can
Where
Okay.
can I find you? Outside of work.
there is no outside of work,
Oh, goodness.
and they will move on to the next table.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
They pass away.
Yeah, they die immediately,
All right.
or they will try to move on.
But Baruvo.
Yeah.
Baruvo.
Okay. Yeah.
Real quick. Hey. Are you sure that what do you owe them? What is going on? What happened?
Selias took me out of the orphanage and gave me a life here. And I've got some time left. You know, it was hard, and he helped me get out. And now I'm here. And that's great.
Is it?
Yep.
Well,
And they're just very clearly not making eye contact with
okay.
you.
Can I like look around to see if anyone's like watching
Sure.
our conversation? Not as good. That's like a 6.
Doesn't look like anybody's paying
Great.
particular attention.
I will charge on ahead.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll try to whisper.
Mhm.
I have some friends who are fairly well connected in the Orzhov
Either one.
Guild, and I will ask around and we'll be in contact, okay? Just be strong and be careful.
I'll be here.
Okay.
And they will slowly turn and go back to serving drinks
Okay.
off of their
Oh, and
back.
I'll give them a couple coins, like some change.
You don't have to. You don't.
No, please. The Conclave takes care of their own, and you are an extension of that, so please.
Not Celestia be with you.
You as well.
And Baruvo will continue serving beverages. The two of you are still at the bar.
Yes, I'm still waiting for Ulrich, and if he has not come by at this point, I will go search for him.
Sure. We'll say Ulrich will come over. Hey! Blue!
Ulrich,
Right? Blue?
that's not my name.
What? That's what... Isn't that what they called you?
That might be what my friend called me, but that is not my proper name. It's Lucian Ladrian.
Oh.
You may have heard of me.
He has heard of you. He has heard the name Ladrian, certainly.
This is my friend.
Hi, I'm Trivaz.
Hi, Trivaz. Very nice to meet you.
Now, Ulrich, by you saying my name, I assume you remember who I am.
I mean, I know who your parents are.
And you remember all the trouble we went through the last time I was here.
Yeah, I didn't know I was... yeah.
All the trouble I went through to make sure that this business runs as smoothly as possible for your sake.
I mean, we're all up to code.
Would you consider us friends? I would not consider us friends.
Make an intimidation check real quick.
Okay. I got a 19 plus some number, so 20 something.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm pretty good at intimidation, actually.
He is sweating a little bit.
23.
Yeah, I'm whatever you say, sir.
Yeah, I'm just here to help Mr. Ladrian to make sure everything's up to code. I'm an official inspector for the Guildpact.
Oh, I
Do
see.
you know what the Guildpact is?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
You let me, my part, you know how
Ulrich?
you're,
Ulrich?
yeah.
Relax.
Your partner?
Take just a moment.
My partner,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Who's your partner?
He's over there, and he will point towards the high limit area, and now Selias is sort of leaning on the partition here, and just sort of watching from afar. Just sort of watching, sipping on a glass of what looks like red wine.
Oh, that gentleman over there?
Yeah, that's him.
Are you saying I should go speak with him instead of you?
Please, I don't want to.
And
Well, why don't you take us over there and introduce us then?
Okay. Yeah, and so Ulrich will turn and lead in this direction. You both see them being led in this direction.
Okay.
What would you all like to do?
I'm heading into that hallway.
Into the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay, so this
Back
door,
area.
this is a security office.
Yeah.
This door is guarded, and the door is closed. There is a security guard there.
Okay.
So we'll cut to that in a second. What are
Okay.
you doing?
At this point, I think I'm just gonna maybe walk back over kind of towards our table and kind of just like,
Back here?
yeah, kind of just like hang out there and absorb what just happened and kind of look around and just watch and try to play closer attention to like who's working there and
Sure.
see if there's any other possible orphans that might be working there.
Okay.
Things like that.
So as you walk in this direction, you see Selias just sort of waiting at the edge. As you walk over here, just Lucian, make a perception check.
23, I think.
Okay.
You said perception?
Yep.
Actually, that's 20 or 21.
Through the fog and the haze, from the high limit area, you see someone in a cloak stand up and head towards this exit.
In this area?
Yes, someone sitting at this table, sitting on this side of the table, stand up and head that way.
Do I recognize any, like a size-wise, male, female, humanoid,
Larger than normal human.
Okay.
In a cloak.
Okay.
From that distance, you're not able to make out face. You do see that they have a bit of a hunch.
Bit of a hunch. Okay. Interesting.
And so you approach. Hey, boss. I'm gonna. These are them. And Selias will say, "Yes, they are. Thank you, Ulrich. You can go." And Ulrich will head back to the fight circle.
Always a pleasure, Ulrich.
Yeah.
Mr. Ulrich.
And you're now standing there with Selias.
I am Lucian Ladrian, Inspector number... actually, I guess I'm not an inspector anymore. I'm a guardian of the Guild-Pact, although that's a mouthful, so... Mr. Ladrian will have to do.
Lucian Ladrian. Am I saying that right? I've only ever seen it in print, so...
Yes. And you are Selias?
Yes. Ministrant Selias.
Ministrant. That is a title given to you by the Orzhov.
It is.
I see.
And you are...
Oh, I am Trivaz
Very nice to make your acquaintance.
of the Guildpact.
So, that story about the mended Pact becoming an official arm of Jace is true then?
I suppose so, seeing us here, and... Well, there's not much we can hide about that, can we?
No. Not much you can hide at all. If you'd be so kind, I'd love it if your fellow members were to join me in a private booth of mine. I'd love to buy you a drink and perhaps discuss your recent adventures.
Does that seem like a threat?
You can insight check.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yeah, of course.
Pretty threatening.
14.
I think I also got a 14, actually.
It doesn't seem threatening so much as it seems playful. He's certainly not saying that he's going to immediately open war on you, but this sort of is like a cat with a toy, as it were.
Okay.
He's not letting on as much as he has.
Okay.
That's easy enough to tell. Very tough to read, dude, but you can tell that there's
Sure.
something happening.
Okay, so I'll turn around and look for Velma and Tutturu, and only probably see Tutturu.
Tutturu you definitely see.
So I'll
miss one.
send a message to her to just say like, "Hey, turn around," and then just point at me and say like, "Come over."
Okay. You'll collect whatever, another glass of water, another mug of water from the bar, and Selias will lead you all around the edge of the fight pit, essentially, up that direction. So, like so. Velma, what would you like to be doing?
So this is all happening simultaneously. That was happening.
Simultaneously,
Right? Okay.
you're at the door. There's a security guard there.
Mhm.
How did you approach the security guard standing at the door? Just a human.
Yeah.
Just in normal valet casino kind of wearing a uniform. They have a name tag.
Yeah.
This is a looks like it's another ghoulish kind of person, although they look like they have a little bit more agency. They have a name tag on that says Doug.
All right. I walk up to them, and since I made the choice to be dressed up like a concert goer, I now walk up, and I realize I have to change my tactic a little bit. And so I walk up and I go, I hold out my multi-pass.
Yep.
And I hold it up, and I'm like, all right, Doug. Now listen. My name is Thrasher, and I'm the touring manager of the. Shoot, I wrote it down. Of King Zixor and the Warboar, and there's an issue with some leakage coming in from your establishment into the thespian stages next door, and I was told to come tell you need to go check out the plumbing in the bathroom, make sure it's not causing the problem.
This is adjacent to the Thespian stage, and having worked at the Thespian stage a number of times, you do know that these buildings are not just adjacent, but there is theoretically, or there used to be, probably, either a walled over or still open connection between the two. And so this is a plausible theory. Doug rolled quite high on insight. However, it will be an opposed check. So please.
Also, I use my multi-pass.
Oh,
So
sure.
Doug
What
has
does
to
the
be
multi?
a DC 20 to not know that I'm.
Yeah, did not reach a DC
Okay.
20. So.
And also keep in mind. Oh yeah, I mean this for now is fine, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Doug will. So you said that it needs to be looked into.
I said that you need to go check out this thing. Right? Like I basically want Doug to go look into it.
Okay. So Doug will open the door. Actually, before Doug opens the door, he knows protocol. So Doug will call over the nearest employee, which is Baruvo.
Okay.
And Baruvo will be told to stay stationed in their sign language, this ghoulish sign language that they have of like.
Yeah.
Baruva goes, sure, I can watch the door for just a minute, and the ghoul will walk through the door.
Well, I can say I'll say to the ghoul. I go, wait, do you just want me to have him come with me since he can talk to me, and I can check it out if you want to stay here and watch the door. That way you're not leaving your post.
Oops. Yeah, sure, why not? So that works. And so you and Baruvo walk in.
Okay. So I'm gonna head down that hallway to where, and I look at Baruvo
and kill him.
And I know.
Not another one.
Yeah, I go and I just go. Well, so I'm what friends with Tutturu and all that. Just giving you a heads up on that. Just giving you you and me.
Who are you?
Just a friend of Tutturu. All right. So just like.
Are you one of them?
I mean, might be, but I'm not. I'm like not like a main one. I'm like a side one. So just.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sure.
Yeah,
did you want to go look at the thing?
Yeah. We're gonna go. I'm gonna go check out the thing. I'm mostly just look. We're trying to help you out here, so just be cool. All right.
Yeah.
Just be cool. All right. Just wanna. And then I'm gonna head down to where I know Selias' office was last time.
Cool.
And I'm gonna investigate the office again. I'm gonna look around.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's changed which book opens the secret passageway.
Maybe.
But,
Sounds like a real expensive change.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
No, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, would you not? I'm gonna try the camouflage.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if it doesn't work, then I will look for other books.
Yeah.
Okay. Cutting back here. Selias. Do you follow Selias?
Well, there was. Okay.
Yeah, Tutturu joined us, and we all go.
Is that right?
yeah, I'll join him.
Okay. So Selias brings you to a private booth that overlooks this performer right here. This is apparently a Rakdos Firewheeler. Appears to be doing some performance, and you take your seats in very nice plush seating arrangements. Very nice private table. You do get table service. Past the Firewheeler, you can see the pit. The fog is sets the mood nicely. It's not too much of the perfume from the Druidcraft castings or whatever is causing it to happen. You see the beautiful array of red candles on chandeliers as it extends into the massive part of the Dead Reveler. Very nice of you to visit here. I am extremely honored and privileged to be visited by members of the Mended Pact. The Broken Pact's the TV show called name. Of the Mended Pact. I am so honored. I don't know if we've had the privilege yet. You must be Tutturu.
And you must be Selias.
Indeed. Is there a title that I can call you by?
Tutturu's fine. Thank you.
All right, well, you can call me Ministrant, if it wouldn't be too much trouble.
What is the job of a ministrant?
You're here as well. You see, it's a very complicated rule set. Mostly I'm involved in the ins and outs of credit and debt collection. Lots of dealing with the banks, as it were. We deal mostly with long-term payments.
I see.
And of course, I've been diversifying into the casino industry. And this has been a passion project of mine. Nice place to run the business of the Ministrant from. Very calm, really. Don't you like it?
It's not up to what I would usually use for entertainment,
it wouldn't,
but
would it?
no. But it seems to please the clientele, and I assume you like that.
Absolutely. I'm all about both the carnival and the carnage, if you know what I mean.
Good ref.
So, thank you. So, can I get you all anything to drink?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, thank you.
All right. And he will gather the attention of one of the garçons. I'll have another, please. And he will present a large goblet with the red wine inside. Actually, make a perception check.
Does she get advantage because she's smelly?
Sure. Well, there's perfume all around.
Oh,
so.
fair.
I can't see that.
That's a 7.
Oh.
12.
Perception, you said?
Yeah.
I got 13.
11.
Okay. It looks like it's a little bit more viscous than you would think of red wine. It's got good legs, this particular Cabernet.
Sure.
So it sticks to the side of the glass a little bit.
I mean, it's not illegal to be a vampire, right?
Right,
You can
of
drink
course.
one, yeah.
Yeah, so you can drink what you want.
But where does that blood come from?
So, yeah, it's very nice. Is this a date night of some kind? Perhaps the other 2 members of the Mended Pact stayed at home.
No, I believe you. I'm sure someone told you that Velma came with us.
Indeed. I was asking, I can't be
And Astorok's
too careful.
hard to miss, so you know he is not here.
Rock, I think he introduced himself as last time he visited.
Oh, he was here before.
Indeed.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, he managed to find his way into the back offices after having a few too many. I led
like to
him out,
drink.
though. Yeah.
Well, I can't excuse his behavior, but
Hopefully Miss Sweet will be joining us very soon. I would very much like to meet her.
I see. Well,
Let's cut real quick. Sorry, did you have something else to say?
go for it. This is a good time to cut.
Let's cut to Velma. You're in the back offices
Yeah.
with Baruvo.
I'm just investigating. That's what I'm straight up investigating his office at this point.
You get to the door. You do recall that the door. You avoid the Orzhov trap.
Yeah.
That is the Cyclops trap that I
I
described.
remember it from last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you recall that. The door to the office. You see both doors. You see Ulrich's office and Selias's office. Selias's office is there.
Okay, I set my wine glass down on the ground, and then I cast Unseen Servant.
Cool.
And his only task is that if somebody else comes down this hallway besides Baruvo, is to knock over the wine glass. So when I hear the wine glass knock over, it's my alarm system to know that I'm an immediate.
And the unseen servant goes.
So somebody mark that spell slot.
Sure. Yeah. So
Hey, that useless spell has been
I love that
effective
spell.
twice.
You had a name for your unseen servant too, but I forget what it is.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't matter.
That
So-
was like the flashback episode too. So I
the
have to
new
go way
the new
back.
unseen servant is there.
You should give him a new name every time you summon him.
Right, exactly.
Just to make
Yeah.
him even more depressed.
Maybe it's not the same one.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
So you're now at the door.
good work, Barreled.
Barreled.
Sure.
It's Carl.
What are you doing at the door?
I am going to see if it's locked.
It is locked.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to use my.
How did you
fancy-
see? Wait, hold on. How did you see if it was locked? You jiggled the handle?
Yeah.
Okay, it's locked.
Okay. It's all right. Sorry, semantics.
This is a casino back office of
Yes.
the owner of the casino.
Yeah.
You also recall that this was trapped last time you were here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. I now have a set of thieves' tools that I did not have last time.
Great.
I have the Keymaster Rogues kit that we purchased when we went to shopping there.
You do.
Which gives me a +5 to sleight of hand checks made to pick locks.
Indeed.
So I'm going to try to pick a lock. Well, I know it's going to be a high DC because I'm also trying to avoid the trap that's there. So let's
So there's
see.
going to be a DC that you have to meet in
Yeah.
order to get the lock, and then a DC that you have to meet to not trigger the trap.
Okay, so 2 different rolls, or
Nope,
okay.
one roll.
Okay, so
See how well we do.
Okay, that's going to be a 22.
Jeepers.
I have my own sleight of hand of +5,
Right.
and I get +5
and then
sleight of hand
+5
for
from the
thing.
Keymaster
So,
Rogue. That's
yeah.
good enough.
Yeah,
So you're able to slide
good
in the
dice.
tools.
I'm like that.
You're
one
able
there.
to pick the lock. You're able to turn the handle, and before you push too far, you're able to see the trigger for the trap. Able to slide a little bit of foil of some kind into the magnetic trap trigger, and you're able to enter the office.
Okay.
We'll cut back to the booth. So what can I do to be of assistance to you nice folks? It is not every day that heroes visit my establishment.
I was going to ask you the same. You did request us to come back here into this private booth. I assumed you had something to talk about.
Well, I thought that you might have had some of your own motives for coming, but I mostly was keeping an eye out for more notable celebrities in the area, so I thought it might be nice to get to know each other.
Maybe you thought it was nice to get some prying eyes off the floor.
Perhaps that as well.
If you wanted people to see us and therefore raise your business, I feel like you would have left us out there, but
There's
here we
possibly
are.
time for that. I think that, I know how exhausting it must be to have fans coming up to you, so I thought it might be better for a private session here. If you would like, we can go back out to the floor. I'm at your disposal.
I have a question.
Yes.
Out of character.
Yes.
I'm gonna see if I can remember. In the Orzhov,
Yes.
are there differences in the laws regarding if you have someone under your debt? Like if you take somebody in for a certain kind of task for a debt, there's an illegality, I think,
Sure.
in having them do something that they were not.
You're seeing if they are breaking a Guildpact specific rule.
Yeah,
If there's a
about,
Guildpact
like
specific
if someone
rule
is
violation.
debted for a certain task, they can't be tasked to do something else to work off. that
Indeed.
debt.
Go ahead and roll a history check at advantage, because this is like your thing. Because you're a functionary of the Izzet, for
And
sure.
actually, that's
Or
what
of the
that's what my
Guildpact.
D4 is as
Cool.
Vedalken
Great.
history.
Next.
Ooh.
Dope.
Wow.
Wow, that is a lot.
No, that was almost better.
Oh.
That's still a dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Racking through the knowledge of the rules of the Guildpact in your mind, you do know that there is some law that the Guildpact covers that the guilds themselves do not. And the Orzhov in particular aren't particularly picky about the types of debts. They give a lot of leeway. to their functionaries as to how to pay their debts. You have not spotted anything in particular that leads you to believe that anything illegal in that sense is happening. You don't have proof of it.
No.
It certainly could be happening.
Yeah.
But mostly that depends on the contract itself. You, with a dirty 20, you can certainly infer that perhaps some finagling has been done to those contracts, but the contracts themselves are completely legal.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start talking and try to punt this over to Lucian to help with this. So one thing I had noticed. Hi, we didn't.
Of course.
I'm
you're new, I believe.
Oh, I'm not part of the mended pact.
What's your name?
I'm Trivaz.
Trivaz.
I am I work for the office of the Guildpact specifically.
Indeed.
And
Very nice.
I had a question about you. You said you were, or you're a ministrant.
Ministrant,
and you're now
yes.
recently into the business of owning a casino.
Indeed.
And you control contracts over debts and debtors.
Absolutely.
And you have not, I'm assuming, moved any contracts from one to the other.
Oh, of course not.
Of course not. You don't have
That would
anybody
be-
working in here that is, say, was supposed to be debted from other work in the Basilica or...
I'm not sure that I particularly like the tone of this question, but I'll let it slide just this one time.
Oh, I'm just a question. I saw some people serving drinks that they're rather unaccustomed to it. But they've been working for you and had been debted for a while, but new to the industry.
If you're interested in my bona fides, as it were, I can certainly have those provided for you. But that would require me to go get my files or have one of my functionaries do so. If you really want to do that right now, we can do that.
I believe they do.
I don't have any other business to handle.
Okay. Jeeves will come over and he will pull over one of his servitor thralls. A thrall sort of bats its way over. It has really gaunt looking. Please go back to the office and collect from me the recent
Thanks,
contract.
Yeah, just realized what that is.
And so the thrall will bat its wings and ungainly make its way around the corner. Velma, what are you up to?
Well, with friends like these, who needs enemies? I think Velma doesn't know this is happening, so she's going to continue to.
You're in the office now.
Yeah.
It's as you remember it. There is several bookshelves. One particularly nice bookshelf set behind the desk.
Yeah.
There is a filing cabinet. There is a desk that has an ink pot that has a very nice long quill, plenty of papers, lots of business paperwork on it.
The only thing I would say Velma does do is close the door behind her when she comes in because she doesn't want to leave an open door in a hallway like that she's currently sneaking into. So she just closed the door, and then she goes in and she goes up to the bookshelf and does check that camouflage book.
You
again.
pull on camouflage and its practical applications, and it does swing open the door.
Okay.
The mechanics of that door do function.
Okay.
There is a safe. There are 3 tumblers that have 2-digit numbers, 1 through 100.
Okay. Oh, we had those numbers too, but it's been so long since we played it. Is there anything I can roll to try to remember what those? Because I think.
Boy, this is going to be a high DC.
Okay. No.
To remember the code.
Should have worn those earrings.
Oh yeah, you do have the
I
earrings.
still have mine on.
I do have the code.
Wait, I do have the earrings.
You do
Yeah,
have
but
the
we're
earrings.
not wearing them.
You're not wearing them.
I am, and Astorok probably still is.
Yeah.
He has training.
What are you doing? I'm working.
Yeah.
Okay. Velma will.
I don't know.
I think it'd be great if we were just
you
trying to do
remember?
it with the earrings, and I would just start spouting numbers.
Yeah.
So
Do you
I saw like
remember?
24 servers and like 40
I'm just remembering when
servers.
like you were asking everyone what the numbers were, and Ruby just kept explaining
Just
the
explaining
concept
what
Yes.
of
the
numbers.
platonic ideal of numbers are. Yeah.
Well, they're a type of digit that can. No, what are the numbers, Ruben?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Velma like does do the Stone of Far Speech earring thing, and she's like, do any of you remember the combination for that safe that we opened up?
So you hear that in your earpiece. You're about 5 feet from Selias right now.
Is it a loud earpiece?
No.
I don't remember the last time I was in a place like this. It's quite a place.
It really is, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Is this you come here? I haven't seen you in before, but I wouldn't have recalled.
Not really my cup of tea per se, but it seems like you do enjoy it. Do you spend a lot of time here?
Indeed, it's one of my regular haunts.
And then as I'm saying,
So that's what you hear through.
Yeah.
This is my first.
Well,
time.
wouldn't it be nice if you had said the name of the person you were talking to, so you might give her a hint of who you were talking to?
No, you're good.
Okay.
So you hear this conversation happening. It is an actual sort of communication device. So you might hear muffled speech
Okay.
of who's being talked to. I would say roll.
Oh, actually, I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the door.
Yeah.
I'm going to peek out the door that I'm in and say to Baruva, is that Baruva?
Baruva.
Baruvo. Could you do me a favor? Could you be a peach?
Sure. What?
I'm sorry. I'm still being that character. So I'm like, oi, could you do me a favor?
Right.
Look, there's a number written down in your other boss's office on paper.
Oh, I don't have the keys to the.
Oh, I don't
boss's
think he
office.
locks it. I don't think he knows to lock doors. Just get the number and just come back to him what the number is.
All right. Yeah. Sure. And Baruvo will walk over to the other door. Let's see how smart Ulrich is. Or how smart Selias is, actually.
P dumb.
It's locked.
Okay, so then Velma comes out and unlocks, and I'm gonna roll to unlock that door.
Unlock the
yeah,
door. Yeah,
I know. That's the effort she's making. Yeah. Okay, and that's gonna be a 25.
Yeah. It was also trapped now.
Yeah.
It is also locked.
Yeah.
And you do the same deal. This one appears to have had a different trap setting sort of built into the handle itself. Looked like there was a small aperture that opened, but you were able to stuff it with a piece of metal and sort of break the spring in whatever that device was, and you're now in Ulrich's office.
Okay, I'm gonna dig around. I'm also gonna look not only for the combination again, but also for any paperwork that might have come to him that's from the IIRC request. Like, like envelopes that haven't been given to Selias yet, that would arrive at Ulrich's office instead.
So yeah, you can look around the office, roll investigation.
Yep.
Meanwhile, back in the booth, you find folks have certainly you're here for a reason. Am I incorrect?
Thank you. I'm glad that they were there for that.
You mean in your establishment?
Absolutely. It's not every day we get members of the Mended Pact and the office of the Guild-Pact here at the Dead Reveler. Fine casino and fight venue.
Well, we are conducting all sorts of investigations throughout Ravnica, and this was a location that was given to us that might have some sort of interest. So if you have anything you'd like to tell us before we dig deeper, we would certainly appreciate your cooperation.
Well, I would say that all sorts of nefarious business is gotten up to here in the Dead Reveler of various kinds, from various kinds of people.
I'm sorry, are you saying crimes happen here all the time?
Oh, absolutely. Things like breaking and entering, theft.
You're saying happens to you?
Trespassing, perhaps.
Okay. Anything that you'd like to admit that you're complicit in?
Not at this time. Is there anything you'd like to admit to?
What would I be admitting to? I think I've been pretty
Whatever
transparent
you
here.
see fit. Oh.
Well, of course I am not telling you things, but that is how investigations go. I could not give you all the information because it could compromise the investigation.
That's fair enough. No, there's nothing I can really say specifically. But if anything comes across my desk, be sure to let the office of the Guild-Pact know.
I see.
Okay. Let's cut over here real quick. You had something
No, it's fine. I can wait. It's not that important.
I rolled a natural 20
on
Woo!
on the investigation.
on the
check.
investigation? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do a thorough, top to bottom search of Ulrich's office.
Yeah.
Seems like there is nothing here.
Okay.
They don't trust him with anything anymore.
Man, what a waste of a nat 20.
It kind of makes sense though.
I get it, but it sucks to get a great roll and then have it be nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
You probably find like Ulrich's pay stubs.
Mhm.
You see Ulrich specific business, so you see like fight card lineups, names of fight promoters and fight contacts. So you see the contracts for Rugar Rassler
Okay.
and Bob the Constructor and the other fighters that you've seen fighting here. You also see a listing of fight promoters. And one of them is a fight promoter named Hilgur, Hilgur, who apparently is a high-level fight promoter in the game and has a lot of interest. And with your natural 20, you do notice that they specialize particularly in non-humanoid fighters, so more monstrous folks. And on the list are a number of various types of beast people, including, but not limited to, minotaurs.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's what you find in his office.
Okay, I think that knowing that she's not going to be able to get into that safe without causing an alarm to go off, I think now she's gonna sneak back out.
Okay.
I think she's gonna close the door behind her. I think she's gonna relock, like undo her, basically reset the traps, lock the doors, and then go back out to the bathroom, and then basically drop the disguise self. Put her clothes back.
Roll a stealth check for me because this thrall is coming in hot.
Okay. And I also am in my actor mode right now, so I do get to have advantage on these. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be a. Let me see what
We'll see if it's
what my
higher.
stealth is right now. Hang on. Okay, so right now it's a dirty 20.
Sure. Oh, oops.
Sorry.
Yikes.
And that's going to be so dirty 20.
20.
Is that
Yeah,
natural?
you're able to slink out. Baruvo follows you out as well.
And I definitely get my wine glass back and dispel the.
Of course, and dispel barreled.
Yeah.
And you're
Sorry
back
about
out in the main hall. Yeah.
So yeah, and then she go back to the bathroom. She'll change her clothes back to what she was wearing and drop this guy's cell. So she's Velma in the nice dress again.
Okay. As you reappear as Velma in the nice dress, we will say that you are led or offered to head up to a private suite.
Sure.
And you see your compatriot join you here.
As she's being led to the suite before she gets there,
Yes.
she will kind of do the ear thing again, and she'll say, "So by a place like this, you meant Selias' suite." Just cough if I'm correct.
God, the perfume's traveling up here.
Oh, I'm
I'm
so
on my
sorry
way.
about that. I'll have a gust of wind cantrip order real quick, and he will lean over.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just overwhelming at some points.
I'm on my way.
Being blessed with a nose like this is also a curse sometimes.
Understood. We don't get a ton of loxodons in here, mostly in the pits, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
Thank you so much and we'll say that we're all together now.
Okay.
And you are now sitting in a booth with a gentleman who's holding a wine glass in one hand. Very well dressed, dark suit, black shirt, charcoal tie, charcoal jacket, slick back hair, high cheekbones, good bone structure. Being this close to Selias, you can definitely tell that this is a vampiric being. He looks around at you and says, "Miss Velma Sweet."
Ministrant Selias. Just for the record, it is. What's the
Advocist. Or no.
No, what did I just become?
You just became...
I had it earlier.
it's on the Office of the Guildpact stuff.
I
Oh,
got
right.
that.
Oh, you got it.
It is.
Quick question.
Yes.
So I have linguist feat, which allows me
Sure.
to make
Syndicate.
codes.
To make codes.
No, syndicate.
Sure.
It's
Decipher
Syndicate.
codes.
Syndicate.
Yeah.
If I start writing in code on my notes as I'm
Yeah.
doing so with Velma next to me.
Sure.
Is there a way to discreetly communicate with her?
Sure. In what kind of code?
Speak thieves can't.
It wouldn't be. I don't speak thieves' camp,
Okay.
but it would be some sort of written like
Like some sort of code.
yes.
Okay.
It would the simplest one for like writing would be an alphagram based
Okay.
code, which is where you take a word you
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the letter replacement kind of code.
No, it's an alphagram where you take a word, you put it in the word in alphabetical order, and then you're writing
okay.
without any space. And
Sure.
as it's moving from word to word, the alphabet's just resetting.
Okay.
It's not too hard, but it's,
Yeah.
like if you look at it immediately, you're just like, that's just straight scratch.
Right now, Selias is making deep eye contact with Miss Velma Sweet and extends his hand.
I would say, as you may have heard, it's actually Syndic Suite at this point.
I do sincerely apologize. That is my fault. And he will kiss your hand if you allow it to happen.
She will let it happen, and if you want to roll, I will roll to keep my composure to not like
Stab him.
I'll
let you-
stab him.
I'll let you have that
Yeah.
one.
I think that she has steeled herself the entire time she's been walked over here to behave in decorum, and I think that as an acting Orzhov, I think that she knows how to behave civilly around people she despises.
Miss Velma Sweet,
Again, it's Syndic.
Syndic Sweet of the owner proprietor of the Generous Stray.
Indeed.
I have not had the pleasure, and I have not had the pleasure. It's very nice of you to come down to my humble abode. Well, members of the Mended Pact,
We call ourselves the Guardians now, apparently.
Guardians.
We never really called ourselves the Mended Pact. That was all
That was media hubbub.
public relations.
Well, we in the Orzhov know that there's something to be said for public decorum.
For sure, of course.
Thank you so much for visiting the Dead Reveler. Can I do anything for you nice folks while you're here? Perhaps offer a private table or a booth or better seats by the fights.
Well, I suppose that you know as well as I do that the Orzhov would appreciate not having me sit at a private table. I believe that the whole idea of the guild is to keep me in the public eye.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. In fact, and a sly grin will come across his face, if you're interested, we could clear the place out, as it were. Have the place to ourselves.
Again, I feel like that would be antithetical to what the guild would prefer.
I mean, I'm happy to have it either way.
I think a crowded establishment is fine. I wouldn't want you to hurt your bottom line because we're here to have a drink.
Absolutely.
If we wanted to have a private drink, there are plenty of places we could go to.
Let's head on over to the high limit area. That sounds like a more public location, I think.
Fair enough.
And so, if you all agree, you'll head on over to this area, which is fine.
If you'll
yes?
excuse me, I need to use the restroom.
Oh, of course, certainly.
Trivaz will say that's Lucian.
Sorry, that's the wrong. Trivaz. They look like they're getting started. Ulrich sort of spots you as you move past and is really not into any interaction with you at all, and so will sort of turn away and continue doing the bombastic ringleader thing as you head over to the high limit area, which is sort of VIP tables. It's much more restricted. There are suited people at the small entrances. Although there are partitions, so you can see in, it is not blocked off. But it is more private and more prestigious, and invites all of you to have a seat at one of the tables or go to the private bar that's back here as well.
Can I look around and see if I see that cloaked figure who was watching me earlier?
Sure. Make a perception. Or this would be investigation, actually.
Okie dokie. Well, that's an 8 plus 4, I think.
Nope, don't spot. Don't spot the cloaked figure that left earlier.
Darn. Okay.
What are you doing?
I am going to look for the restrooms.
Yep. And
There's
you
right.
find them.
I'm also looking for offices.
You do see a...
Because we're already back in the private area.
Sure.
Kind of, so...
Okay. So you do see a door marked restroom, and then you see a door marked office, or like back of house kind of situation. You check the... Well, there's someone standing at the back of house. There's always like a guard, essentially. A security person posted there.
Okay, the bathrooms are right next to back of house, though?
Similar location, I would say maybe 20 feet from each other.
I go into the restroom.
Okay.
And I bite my thumb really quick and like press, and I'm gonna cast Misty Step to step through to the hallway.
Ooh.
Okay, sure. So, all right. Yeah, you can sort of trigonometry figure out where the hallway should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an intelligence. Just general intelligence. Okay. Or I guess this could be Arcana,
17.
actually.
If it were Arcana, it'd be 20.
Yeah, you're fine. This is just to not accidentally end up in a wall. So yeah, you're in the back.
Okay. I'm gonna try to find Selias' office.
Okay. It does not take you long to find. There's not a ton of offices back here. There appears to be like downstairs to the vault kind of area. There is Ulrich's office. There is Salias' office. There is another unmarked door there's just another unmarked door. Actually, these would be double doors. So there's another unmarked double doors in the back. And then as you round the corner, you can see the other entrance to this sort of back hallway.
Okay.
So you're back there.
Yeah, I'm gonna check Slice's door.
It is, would it still be locked?
Yeah, I relocked it
Okay.
because I didn't want evidence that I'm back there.
It is locked.
Investigation check.
Great.
19.
This is investigation. It is locked and it is trapped.
Okay. I am going to... knock doesn't get rid of traps, does it?
I don't believe so.
Also, knock makes a very loud noise.
It does.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But the casino's very loud.
True.
It is, right?
True.
Cast silence first.
I don't have that prepared.
Let's see.
That makes sense.
Knock.
Izzet wouldn't do anything silently. No.
It's true.
Does not get rid of traps.
No.
That's why I didn't take knock, because like Velma wouldn't want a spell that would make it very obvious that she was doing a thing.
Then I will just reach in to my things and pull out little thieves' tools.
Yep.
And
So go ahead and make that. Meanwhile, back out with all of you. I am very pleased that you all... Do you have a favorite game that you would like to play?
I don't gamble.
Neither do I. I just play cards.
That's still gambling.
To some, perhaps.
To everyone.
Well, I think I prefer to look at it as advantageous number crunching, essentially.
I hope that's not what it says on your paperwork, because that's...
Oh, heavens no. It says gambling on the paperwork.
Right.
natural 20.
Yeah, so you're able to do exactly the same thing. In fact,
Yeah.
let's say that you left the... Well, you don't have to say that,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't have left it.
I
But you're
wouldn't
able to spot the same trap. You're now in Selias' office.
Okay.
Yeah, if they have thieves' tools, they're probably proficient
Yeah,
with
yeah,
looking out
Yeah.
locks.
I'm gonna
That's
look
what it
out,
was.
look around
Mhm.
for paperwork and anything like secretive.
Okay.
I actually want to get this paperwork, and because I'm trying
Sure.
to help them.
Right. So there's a filing cabinet. There's a desk. You see several bookshelves, including a very old bookshelf behind the desk. You see a portrait on the wall that appears to have this Selias character in it.
Mhm.
It does say M. Selias on the nameplate of the portrait.
Okay.
Where would you like to look?
Has anything in here been? I'm looking for like recent activity, maybe, or things that have moved around, or like important paperwork.
Nothing is on the desk.
Okay. Can I just make an investigation check
Sure.
to search the room?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not so. It's an 11.
Okay. You don't notice anything out of place. Nothing sticks out to you. If you're looking for files, there's a filing cabinet.
I'll check the filing cabinet then.
Okay. The filing cabinet is probably not locked. This does have a number of records in it, mostly employment, bills, things like that. Does not look to be, this is just bills for the casino, alcohol purchases, payment of the performers and employees and that sort of nature.
Question: did Thrall ever bring us the files that were sent back
Sure, yeah. The Thrall, yeah, sure, we'll say the Thrall has arrived and left, and you arrived, and all of it's happened.
Yeah.
And so the Thrall arrives over in the high limit area and sits next to the other Thrall that was sitting at the pedestal.
Great.
And will deliver the files to Selias and say, this is, I believe this is what you were looking for.
Wonderful. You don't mind if I'll just go through with these?
Absolutely.
Right now? Okay.
Take a look.
So I'll just sit at the bar.
So what were these?
These were files on, what were they?
Contracts.
It was to see if they were using illegal methods to keep indentured servants for jobs they weren't supposed to be doing.
Sure.
Basically that.
Detect magic.
Detect magic in the whole within like 15 feet of you or whatever. You get faint magical essence off of the quill and the ink pot. You get faint magical essence off of something behind one of the bookshelves.
I'm gonna search the bookshelf.
Okay. Since you know what you're looking for, it's a mundane check. You spot the book that you need to pull on. You pull on the book, and you find a safe behind it.
Okay. Now I'm gonna cast knock.
On the safe.
Yeah. So the way I do knock is I take my fingers and I go do 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 and then knock twice on the safe.
Very cool. And a rabbit burst to the ball.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's look at knock real quick. The target has been held shut by a mundane lock, which it is. When you cast the spell, a loud knock audible from as far as 300 feet emanates from the target. It is, however, quite loud in the casino. You are also beneath a lot of the infrastructure of the casino. I am going to have Selias roll for perception. I'll do it out here. Well, that's a 1. So he is infatuated with y'all. So that does not strike him as odd. That just sort of sounds like something coming from the fights.
Somewhere deep in the things. Just
right. And you now have an open safe. Inside of the safe, you do find a large amount of money. There's just stacks of platinum bars in here. Very little else, actually. There is a small bottle, sort of like an onion bottle, that is maybe 4 inches in diameter at its widest and then sort of leads up to a stoppered top. It is corked, and as you look at the bottle, it looks like there is a it looks like a city in a bottle, essentially. There's like buildings and a cityscape inside of the bottle. It looks like a little bit of an artistic piece. You're looking for
files. I was trying to see if there's something like he keeps like a notebook in
Sure,
here.
It appears as if there is a relatively new ledger, very thin. Does not have a lot of records in it as yet. It looks like he just started a brand new book. And you are able to procure that. Yeah.
And this bottle, is it still is this bottle magical?
Yes, this is the magical object. The bottle is itself the magical object. Okay. I will send you the details of what that is later.
That's illegal.
I'm not Azorius.
You can write down in your item notes, bottled cloister.
Okay. And they don't pay us very much at the Guildpact. I'll take one of the bars too.
Okay.
I was realizing that the lockpick that I used to open this door, I bought with money that I stole from behind this door.
That's
great.
funny.
Pretty good.
And I will make sure the door is reset, and I will Misty step back into the bathroom.
Should just put a bloody knife in there while you're there. Get some evidence.
All right, so
Is there
Not a bad
something?
idea.
your friend has been in the. Is your friend all right? I think they've been in the restroom quite a bit.
And then I'll come.
You'll come back.
Yeah.
Well,
There was quite a line earlier, so
that's fair.
So I'm probably going to step away a little bit and go to inspect these files at the bar that's nearby.
Okay.
But I'm going to whisper Velma, because she was gone for a while, and just say, "Did you procure any information?"
I'm gonna use message.
You can reply back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna respond. Not about what I wanted, but something that might concern Astorok.
Okay.
And
And
this
I-
was message.
Yeah. Well, I was responding to his message.
Yeah.
With a message back. And I don't sit in the private booth that he keeps trying to put us into. Like, I know we're in the high roller area, but I still sit on like a very public table. Like, I'm
Oh, of
making
course.
it very like.
This is a public area.
Yeah, but like she's not like going to private, or she's like
Of course.
She's staying very visible
Yeah.
because she's like afraid that he's like trying to get them off somewhere secretive,
Sure.
and she's not.
I'm gonna roll an insight check on that, just in case.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
A lot of ones. A lot of ones from
Wow.
Selias tonight.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
What happened? Oh, of course.
yeah,
no worries.
Thank you.
I warned you about all that beef earlier.
Oh, yes.
Well, this has been delightful, but if you don't mind, I have other business to attend to. If I can be of any service to any of you, please do not hesitate to ask.
No, thank you for your hospitality.
Absolutely.
Did you need help with those files?
Yes, absolutely. Why don't you have a look?
Please return those to Ulrich on the way out.
Will do.
I'll take a look through them.
Sure.
Do I need any check to try to decipher whether they're...
Do an insight check on these.
12.
Okay. Nothing that's been presented to you is illegal in any way.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine anything files they gave to us probably weren't. But
Earlier when I was sitting, did I notice any other orphans or anything as well?
No one that you recognize specifically. However, it appears as if every employee of the Dead Reveler falls into one of three categories. Undead of some kind or another, either a ghoul, a zombie, something along those lines. 2, what you would recognize as an Orzhov person, a functionary of the Orzhov, either a noble or an acolyte, something along those lines. Those tend to be the security as well. You did notice one person who sort of looked a bit more like a priest in the area. You also noticed someone who wore the notable breastplate of a knight, of an Orzhov knight. So you recognize those as employees as well. And the third, and of course the thrall, the servitor thrall.
Right.
And the third grouping of employees who don't fall into people from the Orzhov or people who are undead look very unhappy to be here. They don't fall into any specific category. You don't recognize anyone else specifically from the Celestia or from the Crossroads Orphanage, but they don't look. They don't appear to enjoy their time here.
All right, well, before he walks away, then I'll say, Ministrant Selias.
Yes.
I've noticed that several of your employees that do not appear to be of the Orzhov relations seem rather unhappy.
What makes you say that?
The look of dread on their faces.
Well, this place is not everyone's cup of tea.
Understandable. I was just curious, where do you go about finding your employment typically?
Well,
Is outside the guild.
as you know, and as I told you earlier, he will make eye contact with Velma at this point. I do most of my work in banking, and much of my trade involves collection of debts, and typically I would run into future employees at the bank.
I see. Thank you.
Well, I know a thing or two about debt collection myself.
Indeed, I have heard that. I would have
Can't
to
say that I'm as fond of banks, though.
Well, somebody's got to do it. I need to stop by the Generous Stray sometime. It's a bit far from where I typically go, but sometimes when I'm over in the First, I might have to stop by.
Well, I wouldn't want you to put yourself out.
Oh,
you are a
of
very
course
busy
not.
man, I understand. She knows not to invite him to the generous Stray.
Indeed.
I would never subject yourself to a lowly syndic's establishment like myself. I understand.
Well, as a fellow member of my beloved Orzhov Syndicate, I would be remiss if I didn't at least offer to see your place of business, and as always, you're welcome here at the Dead Reveler.
Well, your politeness is quite respected,
Of course.
but your time is as respected. So I.
Thank you for your
I'm
visit.
not feeling very well. Thank you.
Well, on the other hand, I would love to get you in for some questioning if you're free.
I'm sure you would. I'll tell you what, you can leave a summons or a note or whatever it is that you do now at the Guild-Pact. One of you can figure out the necessary paperwork, of course, filled out in, do you need 1 copy or 3 or
At least 3.
at least 3? I can probably make that happen. 1 for you and maybe the other 2 or 3 for you. Sounds good to me. Be sure to say hello to your mother and father for me. They're very powerful people, I understand, and
They are, but I'm sure they don't know anything about you.
I'm sure they don't. It was very nice making your acquaintance. Miss Tutturu, thank you so much for coming. It was a delight to meet a child of the Conclave as illustrious and beautiful as you.
It was quite the experience.
Come back anytime.
I do believe our friend is ill, so we will have to take our leave. I apologize for
Trivaz, I sincerely apologize if
Okay.
anything
I'm
here
just-
at the Dead Reveler caused your ill stomach.
I'm just not used to alcohol.
Of course, no fault of your own. It's some strong stuff we serve here.
Sure.
Miss Velma Sweet. Sorry, Syndic.
Thank you, sir.
I do apologize.
Thank you,
It's-
Mr. Ministrant Selias.
Of course. It's so nice to meet you all, finally. It's been a long time coming, I do believe. Thank you for coming down. I look forward to meeting with you all again. And he will attempt to back away, hands up, and sort of fades back into...
Velma stabs him. No, I'm kidding.
Got him!
So we leave?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
just...
we-
Yeah, we did have to make that excuse to go. So.
So, was there anything that you all wanted out of this trip that I stonewalled or didn't answer completely?
Well,
I don't think
I
you
want to
stonewall
go-
as much as dice prevented me from getting information.
do we
that I
take
needed.
the carriage back?
Sure.
Uh,
Carriage is waiting outside.
yeah. Once we're in the carriage, I'll pull up the little ledger in my inside my like
Yep.
thing. I'll look through it really quick.
Yep.
Do I recognize what kind of ledger he's keeping?
This is written in code, and so you would recognize that it is written in code. Very similar to the ledger you found, however, you took the old ledger, so this
Yeah.
is a new one,
Yeah, I was gonna say poor Salias is not able to keep a hold of any books in his.
right?
You really shouldn't leave stuff in that safe anymore.
Yeah.
Probably,
Now he's gonna know
probably
we stole this too.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah,
might
definitely.
That'll have to be sorted out in the future episode.
Yeah.
But as you go through it, it's you're able to. Gesundheit. As you go through the code, you're able to recognize some of the more illicit businesses, it appears, that Selias is involved in. These are non-casino related businesses. These are more personal.
Is there anything that ties into the Harmony Basilica?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll look through it and like, okay, that's worth it. And I will be like, oh, I went to the restroom and I found this and it looked like something you guys might be interested in. I think Selias dropped it.
He dropped a
Works for me. Works for me. Thank
so you now have
Very
up-to-date...
A rather fortuitous restroom trip.
Right.
And then I would
for
say, what I discovered when I went to the restroom is that a particular fight promoter named Heelgore is under the service of Selias and specifies and has a specialty in, I can say words, in non-human monstrous fighters, especially minotaurs, and I believe that may be of vital information to our particular friend.
Yeah, that's... We didn't get anything on Selias, though.
Not yet,
Well,
no.
I think that book deals with some illegal activities. I just looked at it very quickly, but there's maybe some evidence.
I believe there's something in there, but it's no smoking wand, as it were. It's not going to get him behind bars. He might have to pay a fine
How long
at
is
the
our
very
trip
least.
back?
It's a couple miles, so I would say maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes. Not too
Okay.
long.
While we're doing it, I'm reading that book.
Ritually cast something.
While you're in the carriage?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wanted to cast Identify. I want to
Sure.
like have this little bundle in my lap and just be like with
Yeah.
on the.
On the cloister? Sure.
Oh.
So this magical bottle that you've found, I don't have an item description for
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
So essentially what it is it looks like if unstoppered and the command word is said, it is essentially a chamber or room that can be used. It is sort of like a
It's like an extra dimensional space.
extra dimensional space, yeah,
There might be things in there then.
potentially.
Would you have told us about the cloaked woman that you saw? Or cloaked person?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, if you wouldn't, you wouldn't have.
I guess if maybe we were all just like, do you guys see anything? I'd be like, I saw this, but like, I just kind of blow it off because
So I'm like in my lap for a little bit,
we're
like,
popular now.
looking into my bag, and I'm like, huh. I don't. It's not really my specialty. But you guys might want to look into this.
This is
I lift up a little bottle, and it looks like a room or something inside of it, like really miniature. It's a space, and you can say a word, and you go inside, and so maybe something is kept in here.
and you came about this.
I found it.
You are
Uh-huh.
It
really
appears
lucky. You should have played
Selias
some
dropped
games.
it. I will be happy to investigate that if you are giving it up so freely.
Trivaz, you do know I still sort of work for the Azorius.
Yes,
Okay, so you're telling me the truth?
I work for the Guildpact, and I do Guildpact business.
I don't believe that excuses you for committing crimes, so just say yes.
I did not commit a crime.
You just told me you committed a crime.
No, I just said I did not commit a crime.
Okay, we'll work on it. But wonderful.
You all get back to the office of the Guildpact, where Trivaz takes their leave.
I will say continuing this conversation, I'll say there is precedent within the laws of the Guildpact. Say if you can feasibly prove or have reasonable assumption of a crime being committed, then any crimes committed in the pursuit of that knowledge, it can be excused by the Guildpact.
That seems shaky at best, but I'll try to remember it.
I might know a thing or two about this particular provision, just saying.
Oh, and I have one last question. As we get back to the office, I'll
Right.
pull Velma aside
Okay.
and be like, so Velma, one last thing before you go. We see that you have a significant gap in your employment history before owning the Generous Stray. Would you care to elaborate what happened in that time?
What period, of course. I was a traveling performer.
And you have records of where you performed, or who you performed with, or...
I was quite famous. There are plenty of records. There are posters,
Well,
there are signs.
The Guildpact doesn't have any of those. We couldn't find any, actually.
Strange. I have posters and signs for them. I can show you them. If you come by the Stray, I can show you them.
Of course.
Excellent. And yeah. So do you want to go back to the Stray with the group, or do you want to stay at the office?
I need to go take care of AJ and go back to my office.
Excellent news.
I think she sends over some of the posters and some of the touring things. So she wasn't very publicly performing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Speaking of AJ, I pull out my little thing I've been carving,
Nice.
and I hand it over to you, and it's a little drake.
Aw.
I didn't have the specific marble I needed to make it a nice guild-associated color, but it's a white drake, and its wings are kind of like spread back in like a very glorious pose, and it can be used as a beaker holder.
Oh, yes.
Nice. So you now have that. That is
Yes.
nice stone, little beaker holder and paperweight and
Yeah.
sculpture.
Yeah.
And as you all return to the Generous Stray, you see Astorok waiting out front. He is done with his training, apparently, and he is standing there and appears to be reading a piece of paper.
I don't know how that's possible.
Well, looking at a piece of
I
paper.
hope he didn't get another medal.
That
hope he did.
he is standing there holding a piece of paper and waiting for you all to approach.
I walk up and smash it out of his hand and say, "What's up?"
Oh,
I don't do that.
sure.
Because
I thought we were going to end
I
there.
would never
I
do
thought
that.
you were giving us a cliffhanger to...
No. I want... Keep going. Just real quick.
Oh.
Hi, Astorok. How was training?
Oh, how does he do the voice?
Oh, it was really excellent. I'm a Wojek now, so that's great.
Congratulations.
I have a new, and then he will produce a different paper from
There
his
it is.
pocket. So
This is my Wojek training certificate of completion, and
sheets out for everything.
that's right. This was I guess taped to the or glued to the front door.
Of the Stray?
Of the Generous Stray.
I look at it.
This is a piece of paper that you have seen before.
Mhm.
This is a piece of paper that in your handwriting says the words, "I know." And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
What? Wait, whose handwriting?
Velma's.
Okay.
Do you remember that she wrote that on Selias' desk?
Oh.
Oh boy.
So no combat. I had a couple of ways for it to happen, but I didn't want to force it. I hope that was fun. I hope that was enough.
Just everybody lying for 3 hours.
Basically.
Thanks, everyone.
Boy, Soul, thank you so much for
That was
joining.
great.
I
Thank
hope
you.
that, thank you so
I
much.
was like, I'm a bureaucrat, but I also... They signed
Yeah.
me to you,
That's
me to
right.
you guys for a reason.
That's right.
I can tell.
Hopefully that answers a little bit, but also asks some more questions. Some FaceTime with a villain is always fun.
Oh, great. I love
Yeah.
it.
A little bit of
I
foreboding.
love having to be polite to someone that my character I like the needing to be the decorum of being an Orzhov and having to be civil and just wanting to every other word just laced with an FU basically.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, we will be back next week with another special guest, Vanna Mahoney. Havanarama on the Twitters. And so please do join us for that. Jordan Pridgeon will also be back next week.
I don't know. You did a great job playing Astorok.
I got to work on my Astorok accent.
I think mine was better at the start.
I agree. So
Here, I
Pretty
think
point.
back next week. Right?
before we go, thank you so much. We ran over a little bit. I apologize for that. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Please tell the folks at home where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Riley J. Silverman and on Instagram at Riley Silverman. And I am in 2 other live actual play shows right now, so check those out as well. I'm the Doctor Who one-on-one called Game of Rassilon, and I'm starting up soon on the Rat Queens One Hyper RPG. It'll be next week, I believe. I'll be finally jumping into that.
Nice.
Super exciting. Hi, I'm Poisel. I am at a Poisel on Twitter and at a.poisel on Instagram. And you can find me on some other shows, including starting this week on Wednesdays, Starfinder game Drift Runners on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific. You can find me on Unrestful Hearts in the Garden of Glory on Encounter Roleplay at 5 p.m. Pacific. And you can find me regularly at Sundays at noon Pacific in the Uncommon Trust Presents. And right now we are going through City of Mist, which is a ton of fun.
Oh, cool. I'm Grav, and you can find me on all the socials at WGXG, and you can also catch me on Friday at 8 p.m. on our home channel, where this is all coming together from, twitch.tv/Saving Throw Show. We play a Savage Worlds adventure set in East Texas University, which is like college kids fighting monsters and ghosts, and we're all out of it. It was crazy. But yes, that's it.
Awesome. I'm Ashlyn, and you can find me on Twitter at Ashlyn Rose, on Instagram at RAR, it's Ashlyn, and on Twitch TV at twitch.tv/Ashlyn_Rose.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I'm the Internet's Ruben Bressler, MOXREUBY on all the socials. You can catch me on Wednesday nights on Magic Mics, my Magic the Gathering podcast that I co-host with Evan Irwin and Aaron Campbell, where we go over the week that was in Magic the Gathering news. You can also catch me Friday nights for the Zweihander RPG Black Hearts on the Encounter Roleplay Network. I want to thank Benevolent Overlord Dom Zook.
Yay!
I would like to thank Zach Hady once again for our intro theme, and Garav for our beautiful intro that we came in with. Thank you so much, Poisel, for joining us this week. I hope that this was fun. I can't wait to see Trivaz again.
Yes,
so
they
much
were
fun.
awesome.
Will be a regular occurring character, I would imagine, either NPC'd by me or portrayed by you in some capacity.
Yes.
I hope that was sufficiently foreboding for everyone and set up the season in a very creepy and not at all dangerous way.
Ice is going down.
Right. So,
What?
so thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week on The Broken Pact. Good night, everyone.
Bye.